Kat Carlson and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can swing with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
Here comes a Tuesday night in Studio C. It's The Show. We're at our new time, which is going to be just about 10 minutes after the hour, apparently now. That's how we're going to do it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Show 387. This is the 21st of May, 2019. My gosh, the year. Well, we're getting close to being half over, right? Once we get to June 1st.
1.
My gosh.
2019 will be...
No, June 30th, we're half over.
Oh, that's right, because you got to get through the full 6 months.
We
That's
headed
right.
to a new decade. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I know.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever
I know.
these whatever
Climate
these
change
ones were
thing.
called,
Yeah.
they're over too.
The teens.
And you know what's weird is whatever these ones were called, they were easier than what the next ones are because no one knows what
The
that's
20s.
called.
That's easy.
I mean the teens one. Yeah, the teens one was the worst one,
yeah.
right? That.
And
I'm
when
sorry,
then
you're
the,
right.
everybody
Or
was
the
saying the
20s.
aughts. What the
The
fuck
aughts.
is that?
Yeah, right.
02, 03, 04.
I didn't like that.
You know what I noticed about that?
We're off and running. Here we are. Yes. What is your bitch? What
it-
grinds your gears, Doug?
No, it does. It's just an observation. In the 1900s or the 20th century, they had the same issue and no one knew what to call it and they didn't end up calling it anything and nothing
Anything.
happened.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing and we're fine.
Yeah, it
Like,
happened.
do you remember the night? What are we gonna call those 2 decades?
I know.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Tomorrow.
We didn't tomorrow.
Yeah. Hi.
We didn't call them
Tomorrow.
anything.
Fine.
So birthdays
So,
this month
that's
are
all.
Bear, Drew, Aaron.
We're already into the
And
birthday
Nan's-
segment. Show is singing
Moving
along.
Well, I got the paper
We're ahead
out.
of schedule.
Dale from
glad.
New York State. He lived
That's
here
right.
for years, according to
Yeah.
my notes.
Dale's
Coming
Bees.
up. That's all I wrote down.
30th.
You know when the last time I saw him was?
Mom's 60th
Your mom's
birthday.
birthday party at your backyard. That's
Sure.
right.
Sure.
Oh, Dale.
Well, that makes sense, yeah, because then he moved to New York and it was
So-
2008, yeah.
Wow.
So happiest of
11
birthdays
years.
to you, May people,
Yes.
Sure.
Hi,
Hi,
Mama
Mom.
Di.
and Mama and other Mama Di's
Yeah,
birthday this
exactly,
month. I
yeah.
thought that's what we were talking about. And then I looked up,
Yeah.
realized what we were all saying.
Stuff going on
Now
everywhere.
with 90% less sneezing. Last week was
I
rougher
noticed
than
you brought
fuck.
Zicam spray.
Well, I brought
and-
Zyc for the home viewers. Let
Yeah.
me tell you how to go to your medical professionals and get rid of allergies.
Okay.
Please let us know.
This will get you through. Zicam cold remedy stops some shit in its tracks.
Okay.
Better used according to the box and in real life. At that first sniffle, just run to your local drugstore and buy this shit.
Okay.
It's a couple bucks. I don't know. It's nothing extravagant.
Right.
Is it zinc?
It's zinc and
Yeah.
eucalyptus and then, I don't know, witchcraft.
Good. Witchcraft.
Menthol,
yes.
and you just break it off at the tab, and you just shove this motherfucker up your nose as far as you can.
Oh, I don't think
and
that sounds
sniff
fun.
it.
at
That's on the
all.
directions.
Wow.
No, and you gotta
Yeah,
just you
it
gotta
just
like.
says MFer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how far they say. I
Because
have
you know.
glasses.
I have glasses.
They
You
have-
need to-
I don't have glasses, but I have glasses.
if your eyes start to shut, I think you can pull the out just slightly. Just a guess.
Just inside first nostril. So
Oh.
don't shove it up. According to them, just inside.
Just inside.
So wait, did
I
you?
felt a
So did you do just inside nostril, or
go.
did you shove it all the way up?
all the way up.
Oh my god!
I did a spirited scrubbing. But I got to tell you, if you're
Yeah.
just getting the signs of a cold, like not allergies, but a cold,
Yeah.
this will stop it.
Yeah.
Dad. Your
okay.
cold
It works
is
for both.
Well, it even
gone.
says pre-cold right on
yeah,
the box.
pre-cold. You're
Pre-cold.
not kidding. But for the sniffly allergies
Yeah.
Oh,
thing, if you
yeah.
got nothing else, this is a good over the
I
counter.
Okay.
thought that you'd get hit with that again today and yesterday with the wind.
And let me
going
tell you
fucking
why I
nuts.
haven't, because of this
Oh,
next drug
it's
that
our
we're going to
next
bring
part of
to
the
you.
story.
Oh,
Look at
part
this.
Okay.
two. Part due.
This time it's personal.
That's right.
No shit.
Fluticasone?
Fluconazole.
Nope.
I just thought
That's
I'd
what
make it up. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no. But you're
Oh.
so close. That is
Oh.
another medication. It's not this. Fluticasone propionate. Now I got to tell you about this shit.
Fluticasone?
This is a steroid.
Oh.
It's a nasal steroid. It ends it. Allergies
Is it
gone.
Over the counter?
That's
or
over the
prescribed?
counter?
They have it over the counter, but it's cheaper if you get it. If you have insurance, get the prescription
Okay.
because it will be cheaper by prescription than it is over the counter.
All right.
This shit,
Yeah.
rewind, however you get it back to me saying that, will just end the motherfucker. Like,
Okay.
shit be done.
So in your memories on Facebook, what I want you to do is take a picture of that fucking bottle, and I don't want to hear you bitch about this ever again.
No. The problem was because I go to my doctor
Tape up
every
the
year
box.
and like we have little conversations,
Oh.
and I have something else in my bag that's more for a cold than it is for allergies. But last week with the sneezing, and it was everything last week was here up.
Okay.
So the other drug that I have, because I had it for a cold in the winter, and it was for the Hamilton thing where I went to the doctor and I'm like, I'm not quite sick yet, motherfucker.
I remember hearing
But
this
I just
story.
spent $400 on a theater ticket, so we will not be sniffling and coughing. Make it stop. I don't care. We
Yes.
have to sacrifice a child.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Seems completely fair.
Lamb's
Call
blood.
Trump.
I
A
don't
goat.
give a shit. And
Right.
$400 a ticket, there will be no
I have
sniffling.
a bad
Yeah.
cold.
So he prescribed this other stuff, and it's like Atrovent but nasal spray. And for a cold, the problem was on the box it said my prescription said once a day. So I was so miserable when I went home. I like took everything out of the cupboard. Was googling like which of these motherfuckers is for my allergies. And I found this and Googled it because the box is gone and the little thing of what it's for and when to take it
Sure.
is missing, so it makes it kind of dangerous to have around the house.
Can I look at the bottle?
So
Yeah.
wait,
just wanna look
so
at it.
you just that was in your cabinet?
And I knew that it was something nasal, but I
So
wasn't
it's
sure.
not Zycam.
No,
that's
that's
this.
this.
That's why I'm so
No.
confused. I'm like,
No,
you
this
got
is the
that
shove
out of
up your
there.
nose.
It has steroids in it.
This
you
is a
got it over
steroid.
the counter.
No.
No, but that
I
can
was
be
not
Is this a
tracking.
steroid?
This, yes, it's like a glucosteroid.
Yeah, okay.
And this just ends shit. Stops
Okay.
the inflammation, stops it dead in its tracks.
Wonderful.
Again,
I'm
we're
off-
talking about allergies, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
just to make sure. Because sometimes you get irritation that has nothing to do with allergies.
People actually, I'm just going to tell you, buy a shovel. And then it's one problem, two elegant solutions.
Right.
Kill them, bury them.
Boom, done. Right
one
there.
shovel.
And then lose the shovel
Great.
somehow.
Buy your own ground, not included. Earth not included with shovel.
$49.95.
I do know where the bodies are
There's
buried.
plenty of city
So,
property available.
I will tell you whole different animals. So I went home and I Googled that, and then
Yeah.
say I went to the doctor, and I'm like, this needs to just be prescribed again. And I don't believe in expired medications, as everyone knows. Medicines are just good till I'm done using them, and then I get rid of them.
Just like a car.
Because this supposedly expired in January of 18. It got all the shit done. Don't throw medications away.
I don't know. No.
That's just a pharmaceutical company trying to fuck with you.
Sure,
My
it's
own
So
exactly
you will
what
get
that is.
pay more.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have vitamin C in my bag that I think expired in like 16. What's vitamin
Who
C going
cares?
to turn into?
Right.
Right.
Just an orange
If
pill.
nothing else, it's a right. If nothing else, I
Right.
just swallowed something that's going to dissolve in my
It's a
stomach.
breath mint now. Who cares?
Right,
Stop and
exactly.
get a gallon of Tropicana. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who, God.
What
the
kind
milk-
of
I
medicine
don't-
is that?
That's wine.
Well, this is wine, and this is what I would have been enjoying last week, but I couldn't stop fucking sneezing.
and in complete contrast to prescribed medications,
Yes.
the older that gets, the better it is.
That is true. That is absolutely.
According to what I
you've got a
understand
good
how
eye.
it works.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I went to the doctor and just motherfuckers, doctors, these motherfuckers, not doctors. These are not doctors.
Okay.
These are medical professionals. God bless them. Hello, Anand, and happy birthday soon.
Hey, Nat.
Yeah, well,
Total bullshit again this year with a whole nother medical human. If someone comes in and tells you something, discuss that problem. Like, I did a drug test today. I'm like, sure, I'll do a drug. I don't give a shit. I will do a drug test. Like, I have insomnia. It should be the only thing in my chart should be occasional allergies. That she's got the stuff at home. She just forgot. She just tore the label off.
right.
But she has insomnia. So I just want my prescription of my sleeping medication that I use it's not the medication I use. It's just for, like, open in case of emergencies.
Right.
And again, I keep it forever because it doesn't expire.
Okay.
And oh my god, they were like, "Do you want to take a drug?" I'll take a fucking drug test. Like, what do you want to see on this drug test? Like, what is it?
Is
you
this the
think I'm
same
after?
guy who doesn't remember
No,
you're
I
a nurse
fired
that you
him.
know?
Yeah,
oh,
I
you
fired
got a new
him.
one. All right.
And I got somebody else who, not instead of working one floor below me at where I used to work, worked one floor above me.
Okay.
And the same shit. Like, do I look like a fucking drug addict? Like, I'm getting my life done. You've seen my labs. I drove here in a car. Life, like, I'm fine.
I actually have a
just
job one floor
insomnia.
down.
And I feel bad because,
And it's
like,
not like you don't know what's happening in the medical
right.
world.
And I have, like,
People.
I can communicate with someone in that language. So I can't imagine when someone else goes to a
right.
medical professional about insomnia and to get it with that kind of a roadblock.
Yeah.
Like, all my chart should say in big giant letters is there's some other shit, but insomnia!
Yeah,
You know what I
in
mean?
all caps.
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
And then she's
I
like,
can tell.
She's like, well, why doesn't your neurologist? Because my neurologist has changed doctors 3 times in the same office. I'm like, just like this fucking office, you're the third goddamn person.
Right.
I'm not changing. You are.
Yeah.
And she's like, I sense you're frustrated. I'm like, I'll pee in the cup. I'll pee on you.
You're going to sense the back of my hand right into
Yeah.
your fucking face in
And that's
about
what I
10
want to say.
seconds.
Like, I'll pee on you. I don't give a shit.
Wow. Well, that'll cost
You're
extra.
going to be sensing
Well,
something else
You'd be in
shortly.
Russia.
For her.
You'd be in Russia.
My.
But she seemed love. But it's very frustrating
Well, I
when
f-
you go to someone and they don't listen to your concerns.
I
That's
feel that
exactly.
maybe the Zycam and the steroid has. You're a
yeah.
spirited child
You're a
today.
No, I have not,
Spitfire.
and because of how good this works, I
Yeah.
have not taken this in like 5 days or
Yeah,
touched
oh.
this in like 5.
Oh.
Like this, whatever this is, it's a fucking.
He's not
Christmas
overdoing
miracle.
it. He's
that.
not.
Wow.
And the Zyrtec for emergencies still in the pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been drinking all day.
Oh,
Well,
that's
there's an
what it was. I
answer.
was wondering why you
Okay.
had the first pop of wine out before
There's an
anybody
answer.
else.
Well, I got here first, so that's
Yeah,
how you,
well,
that's
yeah.
how you get the first pop.
But
of
I
wine
didn't.
out.
I didn't know about the all day part.
Yeah,
so.
no, and so frequent listener, long time, actually listener from the very first show.
Okay.
Julia Gulia,
Yeah.
who's often in the chat room. She turned
Yes.
40 today.
Oh my
Happy
gosh.
birthday.
We can all
So-
tell her how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's all
You're
downhill.
We're all the same age.
No, you got 10
Our
years
age.
before the downhill. No, this is no longer.
it's
I
kind
don't
of
know how to
even.
break this to you, but 40 is
The
no longer
40s
any
is
of our
like,
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that door is closing
still
super
have a-
fast.
Oh no,
There's
I'm
still a
not. No, I'm saying
four,
we've
but-
already passed that landmark. Like we're already there.
Right. But I
Right.
mean, you're still in the good place. It's 50 where like it just slides into hell
yeah,
and your body falls
I
apart piece by
could
piece.
not agree more
So much
with
to look
that
forward
statement.
to.
Exactly.
Oh, this is
The girl that
great.
taught me
You're
how to-
knocking. You're not only
I
knocking on the
know.
doors. Come on,
Honey,
the door's
I
open.
have my hand
Bitch, she's
on
titty
the...
dancing for the door, trying to get in there faster.
Hey. Open up, girl.
Yeah. I got $5.
Right.
Oh my God.
Make mama happy. My.
Oh,
So
my.
I think I just said it to you or to you like a couple of minutes ago when I was about to turn 50. I was saying it to my childhood friend that taught me how to read. She's a few years older than me. She's like, "Oh, Alfie, your body just fucking falls apart."
It's true though.
And I swear to God, at 50 years in one day, like a leg fell off. And I was like, God,
You
That's
know-
what you were carrying down the
And you
street.
know,
yeah.
I feel like too, maybe 20 years ago, when we would make fun of, old people and all they do is talk about their ailments and what medicines they take. And I was just going to bring up that I'm now taking a statin.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
yeah, I know.
Ryan
right?
almost spit.
It's the God's honest.
And of course, because my relationship with all medicines, I have so many all my life paradoxical reactions and whatever. I'm getting the really bad side effects that you get from taking it's like the Lipitor one, where I have these horrible muscle aches. And have you heard about this? And muscle soreness, like profound though. It hurts so bad. So I had to message my doctor today. I'm like, I can't. And he was like, stop taking them for a week and we'll see.
Will you please
I
forgive me
can't-
for
I know.
almost spitting up all over you?
I know.
It just was like not what I expected.
I mean, I think about us in the
Like,
past,
at
like
all.
going to nightclubs every night, and we were and now we're like, I'm like, my arm hurts from my statin,
Yeah.
and Al's like, my shoulder
statin.
hurts,
I
and
rolled
my
over wrong, and my
my shoulder, I can't sleep. I thought it
then
was
I went to try to get
insomnia.
some coffee.
So-
I
and
raised my arm to yell bingo and I screamed from the pain.
So, Doug's at the club. Somebody walks up. Hey, what are you on? He goes,
Well,
Lipitor.
Lipitor. Do you want to go in the bathroom and do some
on.
Lipitor?
Do some Stanton up in the
Yeah.
stall.
We'll lock the ladies' room
Jeez.
door, feel like old times.
Eats.
Oh my
What
God!
are you taking? Some ibuprofen.
Some ibuprofen.
My Aleve wore off 12 hours ago.
And
They
I saw
say,
your
but it
Facebook post
doesn't.
about your back, about having a backache.
When did I post that?
You did.
Every day.
It was a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
the
You were
memory
like,
was the
a couple
next
weeks
thing
ago.
to
yeah, a couple
go.
weeks ago
What
about
do
your
you do?
backache, and I
Right.
related
But,
so
okay,
much
but
to that
now,
post.
To what you were just saying, I woke up Monday morning and somehow my very extremely lower back had gone. I don't know why. And I
Yeah.
got through yesterday, went to my chiro, which hi mom, Dr. Andy says hi. Went to my chiro and he adjusted everything, but I could tell when I left that muscle hadn't released. Like we're not done with this. And last night I could not get comfortable. I couldn't sleep for crap. He opened at 2 today. I was there at 2:15, and we did the electrotherapy where massage,
yeah.
and then it adjusted, and I felt it adjust. And literally, for a half hour after I got home, I felt like I was 20 again.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wow, this is what it feels like to be all free of pain. Woo! Yeah, I was running around.
Started dancing
It
in
was
the living
amazing.
room.
And then it's like,
The cat's hid.
I just have to remember to take those moments and just really savor them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get
Till you
fewer
die,
and
because
fewer-
there's like 4. There's only 3 more coming. You're only allowed 4. You used up 1 today.
But my chiropractor is wonderful. I've been going there for like 12, 13 years. He's a great guy. But he said, well, because he always asked, well, did you do anything specific that might have done it? Like, oh, no, not since the last round of shit that I did.
sat
When
in
I
that
tried to
chair.
help somebody move a fucking water heater. Like, no. I find anybody else to do it because I'm not
Right.
lifting shit
Yeah.
Right.
anymore. And I've even learned that when I go to the grocery store, you don't take 1 bag, you take 2 because you want to be balanced.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Does
you
this
and
mean-
you bring the cart right out to the trunk.
This is my
no
new
heroes
favorite
here.
part of the show.
Oh yeah. Well, this could be
How
a
old are we?
segment.
Yeah.
So does this mean that you are? And I
What's
mean
the
this
matter
as a
with
real
everyone
question,
but Katie?
What?
not a kidding one. Are you off the list of helping me lift the old TV that weighs a ton?
No, I'm not.
Who
Not
could
just
we
off the
do
list.
that? Find to do
Gravity
that?
is still our friend.
Okay.
And if we got to
right.
kick it
Just
down
need
the
all
stairs,
of
we
us.
kick it down the
No,
stairs.
because I have. Because,
You don't know how badly I
We-
would like to do
Yeah.
that.
no,
We're not going to watch it.
we're not out of that because
No, we're not.
You'll be helping.
Yes.
I need a supervising adult. That'd
Right.
be you. Number 2, I have a dolly that can get us down the stairs.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we'll,
sweet.
we can figure
Okay.
this out.
So later we have to decide if we have to look up remember we talked about DV shelters versus
Yeah.
recycling places or whatever.
Right.
So
Lots to do.
So that's my week. I'm just an old woman
Wow.
Yes.
that should not be allowed outdoors.
Yet here you are.
Trooper.
Whatever the fuck this is.
Better living through science.
Oh, by the way, you also have another a new route to get here now. I don't know if you knew this. It's a little out of your way, but you'll figure it out because you like to ride a lot.
What?
Today they opened up the new crosswalk at the canal on 7th Avenue.
Oh, that's very
Wow.
convenient.
So for those of you, and I realize not
Yeah.
many of you who listen to the show drive in our central corridor in Phoenix, but 7th Avenue now between Camelback and Indian School. Good luck to you trying to drive down there because you got a light at Camelback.
Yeah.
You now have a light at Highland. You have a light at the canal. You have people from Shars running across the street at all hours of the day and night.
Exactly.
Then you've got the crosswalk across from Stacy's.
Yeah.
The crosswalk from the bar down the street. Oh my God!
Yeah, you'll never
get there,
You'll never get there.
And why? Because we need to be a non-driving city.
Yeah.
or at least in the central corridor.
Yeah, the
It'll be
central
it.
corridor, you should not have a car. Like, there's just,
Yeah.
it's becoming, and I feel like they're kind of bullying everyone into,
Oh, they are.
just get rid of the car.
Yep.
Or at least here in downtown.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part.
Yep.
But yeah, so you can now cross wherever you'd like to cross with a light.
It has cut my time getting over here,
Oh, I
and
can
it's
tell.
so much safer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Oh,
the primary.
At this time of day,
Having a safe crosswalk across 7th Avenue is
cross,
so much.
no, that's nuts. Crossing either 7th Street or Avenue, whichever one. And they finished this one. I take that back. I haven't seen the lights activated, but they took all the muslin off of all the
Oh.
lights and all. But
As far as I know, they weren't active today because I was out on
Okay.
my bike today.
so
But they do look more ready.
right, no, they've been working on them all week.
Yeah, but
At
Highland.
night.
So Joe, we've been talking about the ones at Highland working, not at the canal.
Yeah, but the ones at the canal are just
Are
moments,
ready to go, yeah.
Moments, yeah. And I think they're going to next start on the ones on 7th Street. So
Nice.
all the way through.
Good.
Crazy stuff.
So Doug, what have you been up to?
Well, I went to LA for my little reward to myself to go
Aaron, you keep
see.
going.
I went to my bone marrow transplant reunion, so I
Very
got my
good.
15-year pin. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you've already seen it. Thank you very much. But I also
awesome.
got to stay with our good friend Harrison for the weekend. So stayed with her in Pasadena on Friday, and then I went to LA on Saturday, and it was beautiful. I went to the Huntington Library and Museum in Pasadena, which is gorgeous. There's a whole like rose garden, tons of flowers. It's a beautiful thing. I'd always wanted to go. My grandmother loved it on my mom's side, so I did that, and I went and ate in fancy restaurants. And just got away
Very
and spent
nice.
an obscene amount of money because LA is insane and it's
Yeah.
got more expensive since the last time I was there was 3 years ago. They
Since you
doubled the
started this
price.
sentence,
yes,
yeah.
right. Oh, I went back to the same hotel. I'm like, and now it's a $200 more a night than it
Wow.
was before. So I didn't stay there. I stayed at the Ramada Inn,
The
which was
Ramada Inn?
still obnoxiously expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The
you're
Ramada
on
Inn
the
is fun,
strip,
though.
so
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it was fun. So that was great. They had actually surprisingly good weather because it was a rainy week, but the sun came out on Saturday,
Yep.
and I have been enjoying my summer break.
Very good.
Good.
So
Away from those people.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
so I've
you
had
were
needed
not
some
happy to be.
recovery. It was a
Yeah.
rough semester, but I'm
Yeah.
feeling better. And the fall semester looks beautiful. The setup's great. I have
Good.
no new classes. So I'm just trying to I'm trying to be good because already I feel like I looked at the calendar. I'm like, geez, it's already moving along. You know, your
Yeah.
vacation time always flies. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get prepared. So I'm trying to do a little bit of work and read and do stuff every day that I need to do for school to stay on track. But I'm looking forward to, it looks like I'm going to go to Rocky Point in June.
Nice.
So
Have you
my-
ever been down there?
I have
you're
like
with your
years and years and years ago.
cousins?
Well, yeah, I haven't been with them though. So the cousin,
That is
I
a
found
beautiful
out
place.
oh my,
Weird.
yeah, I know. So I know I'm getting a friends and family rate.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
only reason I can afford
Even
to go.
with that, probably, you
I know.
Yeah. But thank
So
you
anyway,
for sending that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So I'll post it as well. But so cousin, they own a condominium in on a private beach in Rocky Point.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm going to be going with another cousin who's not the owner, but I guess a group is going, and
Good.
I'm jumping in on the group
Yeah.
piece of it.
And I think if it weren't just us, if it were a group of people,
Oh,
then
yeah.
it would be totally different.
It's the way to
but
do it. You've got to wait till I show you that this
Yeah.
place is amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's on the 10th floor of this building, 3,500 square feet.
Oh wow.
Gorgeous panoramic views.
The place that I like And if you haven't been there for a while, would you know where JJ's Cantina was?
Yes.
Yes.
That whole beach is now condos.
Yep.
Oh,
It's not
really?
empty anymore. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So there's one.
That's wild.
There's one condo complex there called La Bella Serena. Right. The Beautiful Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gorgeous, and it's the
Yeah.
views, and it's just you rent these. You know, it's like Airbnbs, but the last time I went there,
That's what they're doing with there.
Airbnbs wasn't quite a thing yet.
Right, right.
Or not a thing that I knew. And so you get like gorgeous like 2 and 3 bedroom apartments and like beautiful views and private pools and your own beach and
Nice.
That's what this is. It has a private pool, 3.5 bedroom, no, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3,500 square feet. It's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna jump in on that. So I'll have a full report and then I'll
yeah.
let you know.
It's lovely down there.
Oh yeah.
And El Capitan on the top of the hill in town, still
The nice
still
thing too is
inexpensive, still great
Yeah.
Mexican food.
the cousin that I'm going and her friends, they've all been multiple times.
Oh,
so
good.
she told me she said the food is so unbelievably good.
Yeah.
And they know all the like places to go and
So hopefully
That's all
it's
I'm
called
gonna
El
do.
I think
Eat.
it's still called El Capitan. It's on the top of
Okay.
the hill in the actual city, in the port.
oh look.
And you know, there's cats because it's Mexico and it's downtown.
And dogs.
But you're overlooking
Lots of dogs.
The dogs don't make it up that high
Oh, really?
because it
But the
really is
cats
up at
do.
the top of a hill, but the cats do. And
Okay.
it's lovely.
Oh,
That
how
view on a
interesting.
nice night
Okay.
is just to die
Wow.
for.
All right, I'll check it out.
Nice.
Cool. That's it. That's all. I'm not doing anything other than
I love it
small
down
things.
Yeah.
there. I love it.
yeah. I'll check this out and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Nice. Breaking news. We need some Indian inside of,
Oh.
and I don't think he means all of us.
I'll
I
take
think. Just gonna back out of that one, and but well done, Annette. So we went to LA this weekend.
Yes, you did.
Yes, we sure did.
I only know that because you talked about it last week.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Oh, a whole
Yep.
new world.
And it really was. It was amazing and fantastic, and every Marnieism that could have
I think
happened.
there's a butt coming here somewhere.
No, every Marnieism that could happen happened. You know, when you're just somebody that fucks everything up so often. That's
Oh,
me.
no.
What
Well,
did you do?
So we finally got out there. We'll just leave it at that. And we finally get out there, and you had to print your tickets off in order. You couldn't have them on your phone. You couldn't whatever. So print the tickets up. You couldn't take certain things in with you, like in most kind of.
Like a full buffet?
No, but like Al and I were talking last week about the fact that you could like maybe take drinks in, or you could take this
Oh.
in, or you could take that in. But it depended on it's dependent on who's performing. And
Oh, I
so
didn't know that.
if you have like Annette meant food. Oh, I see. Yes, that would
Oh.
be delightful, and I will partake. But if you for certain shows, you might be able to take like cans of something in, or whatever. Not for this one.
Okay.
So
But they sell whole bottles of wine there.
they do. Right,
Yeah.
right. So anyway, we I was so trying to keep track of what can we have, what can't we have, that I forgot everything that we needed to have
Like
back
printed
at the
tickets?
hotel.
Oh shit.
Like printed tickets?
Like printed tickets
Oh,
back at the
no.
hotel. Oddly, which was right on the ocean,
Oh, and the Hollywood Bowl is not.
Not near
not
the ocean.
on the ocean.
Yeah.
No.
So we got there, shocking, early, right? So we get
And God
there
punished you for getting there early.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we got there like 7 o'clock. It said to get there about 7. Try to get in there, do whatever. It started at 8. We thought. Turns out 8:30. Smart of them. I appreciate that.
They knew you were coming.
They did. They totally
changed
changed
it.
the time. I love these.
They
people.
moved it up 30 minutes.
Yeah, usually I'm like, I'm on to you people, but
Yeah.
no, not with the Hollywood Bowl. I've made it. So I sat there and then I realized, I'm like, well, we can go somewhere and print these off. Like I have them on my phone. We can go to a hotel. We can whatever. Except you might need to prove who you are, and you might need all these other things. And it was with my ID and all of my
Oh,
money
my
and my
God.
everything back at the hotel. So anyway, then we went back to the hotel. We had just paid $40 for a prime parking spot that was not stacked, and everything was great. So I'm like, "You're gonna save the spot. Like, I don't give a shit what you do. We're coming back." And we did.
Did you
I
make
don't
it in
think,
time?
I don't think Aaron was as delighted as I was by that, because I had to drive like
Bad out of hell.
No, I had to drive nice because she gets a little anxious about the driving stuff.
Blindfold her and put her in the back seat and then drive to where you've got to
No
go.
idea, except I didn't have my ID on me. So we were gingerly
Yeah,
moving along.
gingerly.
We get back there, I run in, I get all the stuff, come back out, drive back. We got there just in time
Wow.
for the intermission,
Oh,
which is okay. I mean, it took a hell of a long time getting back and forth. But the thing started at 8:30. We got there at 9:30.
Oh
Oh
my God.
Yeah. And so, or it started at 8, we got there at 9, whatever it was. It was like an hour. And we got there just in time to hear Harvey Firestein do his, like, Ursula.
yeah, the big song.
Which I didn't see it, but I heard it, like I saw it on the TV as we were coming in. I didn't care. I was there. I heard it. It was raining. It was very it was a lovely addition under the sea, with all the. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Leah Michelle was gorgeous. I have a bunch of pictures if you guys want to see them. But the
Are they from the
sound-
parking lot? Like
No,
what?
we got in.
Yeah.
we got in.
She's in both acts.
I know both of them. It was delightful.
The Little
here's-
Mermaid doesn't
here-
die in the first act.
No, here's the tour bus.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it really was so good, and
And it's a beautiful venue. Like, there's no
it
getting
really
around it.
is.
Yeah.
and it's a huge version of the theater of the pageant of the Masters.
Right.
Like it was. So when we were at the pageant of the Masters, we thought big, but not like that.
Then you see the Hollywood Bowl, and
Yeah.
the people live all around it.
That's what we were talking about.
Like,
I'm
so
I
you're
wonder if
looking
you
at
could-
someone's living room, and you're like, you didn't have to pay for this shit at all.
Right.
Like, you can't see it, but you can hear all the beautiful music. And those fireworks have to cause PTSD.
There was no
'cause
fireworks.
they're in your
I
fucking
was
window.
so sad about that.
I know, and they're not always.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That I was like, that'll be at the end, so we can get back for that. Yeah, and then there weren't any.
Yeah.
But
If any of you
So-
are wondering what it looks like, here is a stock photo online
oh,
of the
it's
Hollywood
beautiful.
Bowl.
yeah,
I've seen it in so many movies.
I'll send some pictures through to you, Clayton, if you wanna put them up later or whatever. But
And it's one of those things when you
Gorgeous.
get there and it's because it's nighttime in the hills of LA. You're up high,
Right.
so it's automatically a little bit cooler,
right. Well,
and it's just lovely. But you're like, people live all
Right there.
around
Right.
us. Like
Right.
there's people like, and then sometimes
That's
like
LA.
there's one seat where you're like kind of looking because it's a shitty seat. But you're looking like right into you're looking right across to someone's house, and you're like, I can't see the person on stage, but I feel like I can see them
You see
undressing.
the
yeah,
living
sure,
room.
sure.
Special
Yeah,
show.
it was, and it really was. It was just magical. The
Nice.
yeah, and getting there at the intermission turned out to work out well, because there were a lot of little tots that were there that didn't make it through the
Yeah.
the second half.
Oh.
So then they,
Yeah.
they left. But it really was. Leah Michelle was amazing. Yeah, Cheech Marin was the chef,
Oh, okay.
and he came. So and they did it very so as they were singing, they were kind of acting along with things, and then they'd have things going on. So the actual movie is going on over here, and like Cheech Marin would, as he was singing,
Yeah.
look like he was picking up.
Oh.
And concert staging can be
Yeah.
a nice way to condense shows that have too much going on.
Sure.
That you're like, I can't sit through The King and I again. But a concert staging in Hollywood Bowl,
Yeah.
Then you
which I
just
think
get
it was the
songs.
first time I was ever there for, can be lovely. Like they condense it, they don't do it. And if you don't know what a concert staging is, Chicago, that's still running on Broadway 25 years later, is a concert staging
Okay.
with choreography.
By having the band on stage.
Right, because it was
Right.
never. It was only
the
meant to
orchestra
be at
stage.
City Center's Encores for like 2 weeks, and it was only supposed to run showing off the choreography and the songs without the sets, without the costumes. They're all basically nude or in black.
Right.
And it was just supposed to be. That's the most famous concert staging ever done is Chicago.
Sure.
And then it just keeps running, and they still have not put up a set or given you a costume. Like everyone just wears black leotards.
Yeah.
And there's no sets. You just have to imagine there's
Economical
a prison.
show then.
And that's why it's run for, because they don't have to make that much
Yeah.
money. You just have to pay the actors and the
Right.
band because there is no
And you're
set.
good.
BB Nurith or whoever's playing that role
Sure.
now has to come up from the floor, from the basement up through the orchestra and the beam of light, and that is the only set piece there is. There's one.
And no, it did not. Everything else got. I fucked everything else up, Jenny. But the rain did not.
You
ruin
were not
the whole
able to fuck
experience.
up
But you
the
don't
weather,
have
though.
direct
No.
control of that.
No, not the weather. I fucked everything else up. But the rain, it honest to God, it just added kind of a neat element.
Okay,
to it.
so you forgot the stuff for this one show now.
Yeah.
Were there other instances in the weekend that you may have missed the mark on something? Was there an entire theme?
Yeah, that morning.
Funny you should mention
I
it.
guess.
Yeah, no, it was just Saturday morning when, like, getting ready to leave. I found that there are maybe I'm learning some different side effects to the medication. Maybe.
Maybe.
Of like wanting to leave on time?
No.
No.
Oh,
No, I actually here's the thing.
Clear.
Everything I had everything packed. There was no reason that I couldn't have walked out the door
Right.
at 7 a.m.
Right.
There was no reason.
but
But you found one?
slept in?
No,
Oh,
no.
hyper-focus.
Like it was like a hyper focus, which just went ahead and turned into more OCD than I've ever had.
Oh.
It was really fucking wild. No two ways about it. It was
Wow.
it kind of threw me a little bit, and like I couldn't leave my house. I was like, it was almost like this certainly wasn't a thought that I had, at least not that I remember. But it wasn't like I'm gonna die, so I have to have everything perfect for when I come.
Yeah.
When someone has to come into the house.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like I thought that, but that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
I put laundry in. Suddenly, I had to wait for that to get dry, and then I had to fold it all, and then I had to put it all away, and then I had to.
My God.
Honest to God, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then I would go to leave. I'd like, stop it. You can do that. Just walk
You can
away
leave
from
the
it.
You got to
laundry
kind of
there.
look in the mirror and be like,
And
hello,
I
crazy.
would walk away from it, and all of a sudden I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go back and just get it done. It's only gonna take a couple minutes. Oh fuck.
What time did you leave town?
9:30.
2.5 hours later.
That's not bad.
But I mean, it was just the
Better for
idea.
traffic. I'll help you out.
Well, thanks. But it really was kind of startling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And Aaron said, was it like an anxiety attack? And I'm like, well, I guess, but it was like an OCD attack. Like, it
Yeah.
was fucking
Same thing.
weird. Like, I felt like, am I that person that has to be like, 3, 4,
Yeah.
touch
Right.
touch something or lock the door, unlock the door, lock the door, unlock the door. Yeah, it was wild.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went back to the little head guy on yesterday.
Had a little chat about that.
Yeah, I was like, so this was new.
And you have to explore your medications. You really do. If something doesn't feel right, go and talk to him
Well,
about it.
I think we found
Like-
part what doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I mean, but if
we
you're
went
having
up
the
to
pain,
60
if you're-
milligrams.
right
you
now
have
rather
to
than,
you have
yeah.
to communicate
You
about
have
that.
to communicate.
So what'd they say? What did they decide?
We went down to we're gonna go to because I had been at 40 and that was it working right 40 milligrams, but I thought that they didn't have kind of a middle 10 milligram to go to 50, and he hadn't really looked at that, so the next bump would be to 60 typically, and I'm like, yeah, I think we should pull back on that a little bit, because the other thing is
Oh, you're going up from 40 to 50, or going to 30?
I went up from 40 to 60.
Oh my! I didn't miss.
Yeah.
I totally missed that part.
Yeah,
All right.
and so that was in the last month and a half. So like all of a sudden I'm like, oh,
We
I
need
know
a,
what
we
this
need a
does.
50.
Hyper focus. That's what it does.
Got it.
That's great.
Yeah, maybe somewhere.
Here,
Yeah.
cool that off a
Right.
little bit.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna try the 50. And
Now, is this
Check your milligrams. You're acting crazy.
by
That's our safe word.
I like it.
curiosity though?
Yeah.
Is this the first time you have done like this, a road trip? You scheduling, you're trying to orchestrate everything. Is this the first time you've done that since this whole new world that
Whole
you're
new
in?
world. That's right.
You're
Yeah.
welcome for that.
Yeah, that was nice.
So is this the first time you've done it?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if
I mean, we went to Vegas. We did a couple
Well,
things, but that was different.
okay.
Because it wasn't. This was like we're going there for a day
To do this one
to
specific
do this
thing.
thing.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. I
Your
have
mind
have
just
this,
really
I
went
have
to
have
work on that.
I had everything listed
And
out.
how did
I
Ernie
had the
cope with all
car
these
packed.
changes?
I had everything was perfect.
Side note, Ernie's still in LA.
Yeah. Well, we did discuss
She's
that.
at the Hollywood Bowl.
Wondering where the fuck Marty is.
Hasn't she called one of you yet?
That's fair.
She's still trying to park the car.
I think in without meaning to sell her down the river, that I think she wanted to kill me, and then when I fucking lost it to where I couldn't, like, I just lost it. I was like just sobbing, like, I'm so sorry, like, because I couldn't figure out what the fuck was wrong,
Right.
and it just felt so wildly out of control that I was a fucking basket case and was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's okay. And I think that's kind of the reaction that you almost have to have when,
Well,
someone
yeah.
Well, she can't become
literally is
manic.
No,
falling
you
apart.
can't.
She
Yeah.
can't, because then that would just send you
Right.
further down the river
Right.
if you. Yeah.
Well,
just
and I
get
mean,
worse.
if somebody, because she said that she had spoken with a friend of hers at work and kind of told him what happened, and he was like, wow, you have more patience than I do. I'd have gone off and blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
and I looked
no.
at her and I went, well, that wouldn't have been good. And
No.
that's why when you said she's at the Hollywood Bowl, I said, because I'd have left you there.
I've been hyper focused on you enjoying the Hollywood
How
Bowl.
many fucking
Yeah.
times have I been like, it's okay, babe. Everything is fine. And this time, you choose to do that? Fuck.
But that's what you need to do is to under.
Yeah.
I know from friends, family, back from my counseling
Sure.
days, people would just start spinning, and we would see it. And I would even say to clients, I'd say, "You're spinning, and I'm over here. I'm just fine."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I used to start to go like this, so just be the calm. And
Sure.
our former clinical director at that time, she was really good at that. She would just become really zen. She'd just say, if you just stay calm, it'll calm
It
them
calms
down.
them.
They'll
Right.
center with you.
Right.
But if you start flipping out,
And
all
I know
bets
when
are off.
when I start the spins,
Yeah.
I always have to ask myself, like,
Aaron is a champ.
is this gonna burn itself out,
Right.
or is it gonna
Right.
burn me out? Like, which way
Right.
is this gonna go?
Right. And
That's good self-awareness,
I've
though,
been
to
like
know,
kind
to
of
ask
trying
yourself,
to
even ask yourself that question
Yes.
is really good.
Yeah,
well, and that
I've been
was-
doing this crazy for a long time.
Am I? How
So
is
that
it
was
to
just
spin
kind of
right
a-
off, or-
Yeah,
usually when I'm feeling that kind of thing, not to the degree that I was Saturday, but then I'll be able to go, stop it.
yeah.
Like that's been the new
Yeah.
part where I can go, stop, just enough.
And I told you
And
I did an
focus.
asthma medication last year
Right,
that I
right.
reacted to horribly,
Sure.
and I got paranoid beyond belief.
Oh.
And it was
It's the worst.
so the doctor asked me about it. Not doctor, medical professional. Refused to call them a doctor because they're not. But it was one of those things where like I felt myself getting more and more paranoid and more like everyone's out to get me. I have no friends. I should just stay home.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is. And you do that thing of like, this is new. This is
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
emotion. You know, all the
Yeah.
same people.
Yeah.
And nobody's been trying to kill you for a couple days now. So
Right.
Sure.
where is this coming
Sure.
from?
You're isolating.
And again, you
Yeah.
just take out the one thing, like what's different.
What's new? Yeah.
And yours is a different milligram. That was
Right.
like, this is some asthma med. Like, let's just Google this and see if
Right.
this
Right.
in the cocktail just threw us. And
Yep.
sure enough, it was
Sure.
can cause like weird moods. And I was
Sure.
like, well,
Perseverating
weird
thoughts and-
mood.
Of
Yeah.
course, right. Well, and
But you have to take a little.
You
You
have
have to take
to
a
take
little
it back.
self check of be
Yeah.
like, okay, is it them?
Yeah.
Or am I just being fucking
Right,
nuts right now?
Well, and that's what I told the little head guy, because when I got there, the only other piece that
I
I've
mean,
noticed
if
is
you're
that
offering a little head, I'm not going to pass it up.
I was waiting for a joke somewhere.
I knew
I
it had
just-
to,
It's a softball thrown at me. Come on, come on.
and a couple of times.
We have listeners.
Yeah.
They're expecting things.
Entertainment.
Yeah, but the other piece is that in the last couple of months, because I've been doing this for like 5 months, going on 6 now.
Gosh,
and,
is it that long already? Wow.
Yeah.
We only do the show like once a month. So
Well, time
yeah.
flies.
Well,
too.
yeah. But the other thing that I've noticed is that I cry at the drop of a pin.
That's good though.
No, not that it's bad,
Yeah.
but it's a matter of recognizing it. Was I spinning so much and was I going so fast that I just didn't realize I was sad?
Probably.
Or is there something to do with the medication that it's kind of
Or are you finding the right
leading-
emotional release that you
Absolutely.
needed? Because that's
Absolutely.
true
I
too.
still cry crap all the time. I'll cry at a goddamn commercial
I
just
do that
because
too.
the child
Right,
walks
I
in the
know.
room at the right time and the
I know.
mom looks
But-
at it
yeah,
right.
right.
Like, what is
I know.
wrong?
But
Why
you
am
have
I
to
doing
know, like
this? Yeah,
sometimes in
you're
your
right.
real life, you can't cry at the right thing because
Yeah.
you're trying to hold it together. So somewhere private where someone just triggers you a little bit, then you finally release all that energy.
Yep.
Thanks, Oprah.
Yeah.
No, but it really does help. And I have
Yeah.
episodes
No,
of
it's
TV that I
true.
watch specifically because
Oh,
I
you-
know
you-
I'm wound too tight
throw
and there's
on
too
Little
much.
House
Would you
on the
like me to
Prairie,
ruin
and
your
when
day even
Pa
more?
starts crying, I'm done.
How are you going to do it, Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil?
I learned this from when I used to do group counseling. Is that
Oh, am I a
often-
group
Oh,
now?
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
are a
God.
group. Yes.
You're a whole group.
We're a whole group.
It was this lesson that we did, and I'm guilty of this too. So
tell me,
that
do-
when
I'm
you don't
curious.
have like the most healthiest access to your emotions and regulating them on an ongoing basis, is that many people will use movies or TV or whatever, or the big sports game is a lot of times for men, is a way to release, to feel their emotions.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
it's a way to access it. So the Hallmark commercial or the movie
Sure.
or the TV show, you're like,
And
oh my
you're
gosh.
somewhere safe. You're usually by yourself.
Right.
Right.
Or
But
with friends.
actually,
yeah.
That
It's like
sounds
a-
better, doesn't it?
But it's
You're
act-
usually alone, Clayton, so why don't you just let out all your emotions there?
Actually, it's not the healthiest thing in the world.
You're usually alone when you see that thing that
Yeah.
you finally release.
No,
Right,
that's
right,
true.
right,
It does-
right.
yeah.
Or you're somewhere safe. Like I think
Sure.
if we brought up a topic that made us all cry, like we're all comfortable enough that we wouldn't try
Sure.
to be
Right.
the tough person
Right, right,
through all
right.
of this. Yeah,
So-
that comes up.
They're saying that it's not always the healthiest thing in the world to have that be when your emotions come out. That if you can access them throughout other interactions in your life, then that won't be the only time you do it. And I would have clients that say, "Oh yeah, the only time I ever cry is when this thing's on." I'm like, not so
Yeah.
healthy.
And I mean, there's times
But
where me
I-
crying at work just can't happen. Like
Right.
somebody,
Yeah.
somebody in the room has to
Absolutely.
not be
Right.
crying, and
Right.
a lot of times it's me.
Yeah.
But I desperately want to. Like I want to.
Oh.
I want to
Sure.
sympathize, not just empathize.
Sure.
And so I need to go home and have that sympathy later.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't feel like I do feel what they're feeling sometimes because I've lost parents, I've lost
Sure.
friends, but I can't do it in front of them. It's not my grief. I
Yeah.
can't make it about me. So sometimes it is a professional thing of like I got a bottle,
Sure.
and sometimes it's
For
just
sure.
fucking crazy.
yeah.
Sure.
Where like I want to scream and yell at somebody, and then I got to go home and listen to like Our Love Will Last Forever at the top of my lungs. Sometimes you just need to you have to vent or let something out
Absolutely.
because it's not appropriate to scream at someone.
Right.
From what I
Sometimes not.
understand.
From what the restraining order
say.
said.
Yeah.
Line 3, paragraph B does seem to state. So now, with all of these other things, do you feel, if I may interrupt you,
Please,
but I feel we already
yeah.
did, are you feeling some benefit from the medication, though, aside from...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, some progress?
Yeah. Oh, I
Okay.
feel a lot more focused.
Or
The
hair shorter.
problem was-
Is,
Right.
is the
Hair's
hyper,
a lot shorter.
so from focus to hyper-focus.
Right.
Okay,
And
okay.
it was just noticing that. Like,
So knowing we have to just pull back
right,
slightly, but
Right.
like work is going better, relationships
Yeah.
are going better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that the thing that people are maybe noticing more at work, and I don't know, you'd have to ask Aaron, I don't know, maybe Aaron, is that so forever I've been like, nope, that's my fault. I'm so sorry. And everything has been, I'm
You're
so sorry. and I'm
always have been
always
like
so
that. Yeah.
sorry, I'm so sorry. It's all me. And now I'm like, well, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
No, it's
I mean-
oh,
Your
that
fucking
is
And
so
problem.
yeah.
That's your problem.
The fuck do you want me to do?
Right.
No, I'm just
Sounds
kidding.
like a
but
personal
it's,
problem.
That piece has changed a little
Yeah.
bit because I've
That's,
been
that's
better
a
about
giant,
saying.
but that's a giant. I hate when people apologize all the time.
know.
That drives
Yeah.
me fucking
but
nuts.
I always felt like it. It wasn't just.
Oh, I'm sorry.
to
You
make
can't
it go
control the
away.
weather. Like you can't. Why are you apologizing when it's
Right.
raining? Like what the fuck are you gonna do about that?
Because somewhere in my head, it probably was
Well,
something
I
I had
did.
done. You know.
Probably
Like if you wouldn't have
Yeah.
scheduled an event to happen on a certain day
Absolutely.
and it
Right.
rained,
Yeah.
if I would have just scheduled this tomorrow,
Yeah,
you would
absolutely.
not
I'm
know
so
it.
sorry.
Wow.
And but I
should've-
get that.
That's
Yeah.
I get that too.
There's a new part of the new hospital where if you work there, you're kind of alone and isolated. You're
Mm-hmm.
kind of out of earshot. And so the guy that was there all weekend, every time I would walk by, I'm like, you know what you did. You know why you're here. And he'd be like, that makes me feel worse because I do feel kind of isolated. I'm like,
I love
I
that.
know. I just thought I'd poke at it a little bit.
Wow.
Funny.
You know what you did.
Wow.
And Ann says he feels super.
Yeah,
that
I want
he
to
feels
respond to that.
uncomfortable when
So
someone
not
cries.
that's not uncommon, especially
No.
for men to feel. But one thing to remember, if you're feeling that way, is that when other people are crying, there is nothing wrong. I mean, with them crying,
Yeah.
they're expressing something. But and I think I would always tell clients to remember that you don't necessarily have to do anything when people cry,
Mm-hmm.
except be there with them in that space. You don't have to fix it.
Yeah.
Men tend to want to, especially if they see women crying, they want to do something about it. And the best thing to do often is to just be with someone.
No.
Yeah.
not do
That was
anything at
always
all.
my big thing too, because I'm a
Yep.
fixer. Like,
And it's
what
also
do
an
I have to- I
empathy,
have to fix
sympathy
this.
thing. Like,
yeah.
I understand why you're sad. I currently am not sad.
Yeah.
But it's the same with illness. Like, I see that you're feeling shitty. I don't. So I'm
Right.
gonna go live my life. You should probably lay down.
But the worst,
But
Here's
it is
a
big part of
blanket.
it.
Yeah.
No, but it is a big part
but the
of it
worst thing
because-
is when people are like, "Well, but why are you crying?" And what? And yet, and what? And yet,
Yeah.
just what? One thing you can say is, "What can I do that would help?"
Yeah.
Or do you need
And-
do you need me to listen right now? Do you need me to just be quiet, or do you need to talk?
Right, right.
And they'll tell you, "Well, I just need to be left
Yeah.
alone."
I would
just-
say, is there
okay.
anything I can do?
No.
Because if it's nothing, that's exactly what you're gonna get from
Yeah,
me.
Right.
Right.
Because
right.
I'll listen.
Yeah,
But you're
oh,
on. But when you
absolutely.
don't have a reaction to it, other than maybe like a smile or
Mm-hmm.
like that to show that you are empathy with them.
Yeah.
That's what all people want.
Yeah.
and that's all you need to do.
And not
you
in
don't need to
a
fix it.
judgment-free zone. Like whatever.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah,
That-
whatever's
right.
making you cry, you go ahead and
Judgment
cry.
free.
Yeah.
Judgment-free zone. I'm,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to.
Yeah, that took me a long time to learn because with
It's
Erin,
very
I
hard.
was like,
It
what
is.
can I needed to fix
Especially
it. I
for
needed to
men
make
that
her
wanna-
feel
men
better.
wanna fix it too.
All of it.
Don't cry. Just keep it inside.
No, that's what we don't want.
Yeah, that is the worst song in the world. That is lyrical suicide.
It's the worst.
Just keep it inside. Turn it into rage and alcoholism.
Learn how to hide your feelings.
Find heroin.
What's the Book of Mormon song? The
Oh.
push it down. What is it?
Turn it off.
Turn it
like
off.
a light switch. Turn it off. Yeah,
That
nothing,
cracks
nothing
me up
wrong with
every time I
depression,
see that.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
We'd like to walk you into the
Lights,
emotional
switch.
stability hour
Yeah.
on Q Talk America. It's gone real well.
The aging and emotional stability hour.
How
On-
to talk to your doctor in
On
As a-
NPR.
as
58
aside,
easy minutes.
I feel good.
Good.
So that's
Well,
Yeah,
nobody
that's
here
good.
needs to lay down. I think
But
that's
also,
good.
if it didn't destroy the weekend that you saw the second half, you experienced the Hollywood Bowl, you
Right.
saw the stars.
well,
That's
and
also a good finding the positive in all of that too,
right.
and not
Well,
being
And that could just be me. I
wrecked
don't know if
over
you
it.
feel
I
that way,
would-
but that's what I would
No,
take
it
out.
I
was-
would have had I wouldn't have been able to handle that as well as you did. If I would have missed the first half of something, I would have been out of my
Oh.
fucking mind.
No, but I was like, I want to go back,
'Cause
and
I'm not
I
healthy.
really could feel. Stop it. I really felt like Erin just did not want to do that. Like it was like that is not.
And I feel
what
it's
I wanna
also
do.
the
And I'm like,
Hollywood Bowl's fault
but
that
I
they don't
do.
have some way.
I had it on my phone.
Your phone
like,
should
I
be good.
had
It's
it
good enough
on
for
my phone.
It's good enough for the airport.
Yeah,
airport.
right.
Right.
I had
Let's-
it
let's
sitting there.
Hollywood
TSA
Bowl,
is okay with
Dear
my phone.
Hollywood Bowl,
Yeah.
turn it down a notch.
Right.
Yeah, that does seem a little extreme.
It
The
really
TSA
is.
is all right with your
LL
phone.
airline,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Or the other thing, job opportunity.
Yeah.
So some guy needs to have a little
Some guy.
Some
guy,
guy needs to have a
yeah.
little kiosk just outside
Some
of Hollywood
guy.
Bowl
There you
go,
that
right?
for $50
Little
bucks
printer, yeah.
Will
he'll
print
he'll
out.
print your
He'll print
tickets
your
for you.
ticket.
But
yeah.
may I add? I didn't have my money. I didn't have my ID. I didn't have anything.
Well, was Ernie
You
just
weren't-
traveling naked? She has that.
No. She did.
Did you have something
Right.
you could have
But-
traded? I mean,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But
Turn it off. Give a hand job for crack.
I would.
you know what I mean?
I'd have gone back to '91. I wouldn't have fucking cared at that point. Just get me inside this Hollywood
Yeah.
Bowl. You know. But
but that's a job opportunity.
So,
Business-
McKee, did you do
it's
anything
true.
exciting this week since last we met?
Well, I feel like I never have anything that's as exciting as what all you guys do. But
we don't have mental illness to work
But-
with.
well,
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't think I'd spin that wheel right
Yeah.
now. I think I've got just as much as everybody else.
We're not going to die on that hill.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Is this the emotionally unstable hour now?
Right? Yeah, we're going there.
I
Yes.
like it. I'm
No,
good.
well,
I'm not alone.
I sent you.
judgment.
I sent you the text the other day, and I was I was just adjacent to your building. I could see the new tower from where I was. I went through that, and actually, I haven't even talked to Mom, so I didn't even have a chance to give her this news. So my lab work all came back, and everything is wonderful.
Well, tits.
So that's good. So that none of the hypochondria in my head that I was
good.
having is affecting me at all. So we're good. It's just mental, literally. So that all came back clear and good. So I'm happy about that. Let's see what else happened. I feel like there's other interesting things.
May I ask a question?
Sure you can.
Why were we going for blood work?
Because I hadn't in 2.5 years.
Annual.
Okay, all right.
Annual
I just thought-
physical is
all of a
very
sudden I'm like,
important.
okay, well, everyone
I guess
seems
that
to
really
know
is
it.
an important.
And
I should have
and
led
I'm
with
not
that.
Sure what
My
was
bad.
happening. Yeah.
And I will tell you again from a semi-professional
No.
point of view, when somebody around 40 comes in and says they have no medical history, I'm like, you just haven't been to the doctor since you got a
Right.
physical at 18, right?
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, you could have all kinds of shit wrong with you. You just didn't go check.
You don't know about it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Sit down.
Yeah. Women have annual checkups. Men do not.
That's
We
exactly
go a
right.
good 25-year period
And I-
ignoring the medical
And
profession
I would have
entirely.
no opposition to going often. I have no opposition to it. It doesn't
Yeah,
bug me
that's
at
a
all.
good thing.
But mine is clearly a financial thing. I mean,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have insurance. I haven't forever.
Yep.
So it's my doctor's kind enough to be like, we're gonna pace this
Wow.
along.
Yeah. If nothing's wrong,
Right.
At your leisure.
I have a blood pressure monitor here. I check all that stuff, weight, blah, blah, all that stuff. So,
oh, colonoscopies are coming
oh,
both your way.
so he said that to me the other day. He's like, well, you know what we get to talk about later? And I'm like, yeah, later.
Not
I
now.
have a question about
no.
that.
Sure.
My doctor has started doing this year. Does he have like a website, like a portal?
No, I physically
So-
go visit him.
Okay,
In
but-
Scottsdale.
Okay, so this is so cool. I don't know if doctors are doing this now because they're doing everything online. But
Mm-hmm.
my doctor set up. He's got a pretty big practice, a portal system.
Yeah.
So like I don't have to call to make an appointment. I can just make an appointment online. But
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing is it has a messaging thing, and he actually did it, which surprises me. I would think doctors they seem to never have any time. But like when I got my blood work back, it just he always sends me a message saying everything's cool. But then they send it, and I have access to it. So I was looking at my blood work today.
Oh, I like that.
The
yeah.
lab that does it
Right.
sends me that. I have
Okay.
that with them,
Oh,
not
good.
with him.
Well, I love it because it's in the portal and it saves them all. It organizes
Oh,
everything. But
nice.
here's the best thing, and I just did it today about my shoulder.
Yeah.
My shoulder.
So
I couldn't even
say-
win at bingo because they couldn't raise my
The
hand.
new iPhone says take a photo.
Back to
and
our
it's an X-ray.
back to our first segment about our ailments. But I love this. I love this story. Is that I just messaged him this afternoon. I'm like, I have side effects from that statin thing, and it's described him. I said, do I need to make an appointment? Are there other alternatives? 45 minutes later, he messaged me back. He said, stop taking it for a week. If the muscle thing goes away, and I think it will, we'll know that's what it was, and then just start taking half a pill.
How nice.
I know. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try it with, I have another plan. The end. Goodbye. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do a copay.
Yeah.
That's
So
Mine
that
is-
might suggest that to your doctor because
Mine
you
is
might
called-
be able to just get questions answered without doing the
They
whole
did about
money
a year and
bullshit.
a half ago. They converted
Sorry, Al.
everything to digital charting, which
Yes.
that was a huge conversion
Right.
for them. So they did all that. 'cause
Right.
Now she walks in with the
Right.
little
Laptop.
laptop.
Yeah, I
laptop
did that
thing, and she
today.
does this.
It's
it
so
does
good, though.
Right. So I'm.
We go to the
and-
same doctor. He just goes to the fancy
Oh,
office.
'Cause
well,
I can't
ask him
stand
about
going
this
to that
portal thing because it's
Yeah, they
a
just
winner.
it just came in my email today with my appointment when I made it. I just got the thing about setting up the app and getting all ready.
Oh.
And then I have the thing with my insurance called Teledoc, not like
Yeah.
telephone, not
Yeah.
telegraph, telequeer.
Yeah.
That's how gossip
Which
works.
is faster.
See, exactly, telequeer. It's way faster than any known thing.
Like fire.
But the Teledoc is, and I said it when I heard about it years ago. I'm like, even poor people have fucking cell phones, and you just take a picture of an inflammation, something you think
Yeah.
is a bite, something you think is wrong. My shoulder's hanging this way.
You
Take
know
a
where that
picture-
started? Rural.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
exactly. It's from
When you
rural,
live in the middle of nowhere,
Sure,
you're
of
like,
course.
what's this?
Yeah, and because everybody
Like a
has
spider
access
bite.
to
Yeah.
a phone that can send.
That's right.
But the good news is you can send it back, or you could just like my tonsils hurt. I look like this. You know, take the
Yeah.
thermometer out of your mouth, show them the temperature. Like, I really have this fever. Can we just prescribe something, or like, what do you think? And can I just get away with Tylenol? So there's a lot with this Teledoc thing. It's very good, and it's a way to save money and get.
Totally.
They call it interventionists, and
Yeah.
they're intervening from you going to an emergency room or an urgent
Absolutely.
care. They just want to keep it.
Such a good
But
idea.
how are they getting paid? Because
Well,
there
yeah,
has
like,
to be some
like he
kind
didn't
of
bill
a-
for that
They
today.
get paid
Like,
from the hospital from people not going in with no money to the emergency
right.
room.
Oh, okay.
So you're
Right.
saving the hospital money because you didn't have money for the emergency
Right.
room. So this way we kept you from it. So you're intervening. So that doctor earns money by keeping non-insured people out of the emergency
Who
room
pays them,
as
though?
much as you can.
The hospital?
Yeah, the hospital does.
Okay.
And they're
Yeah.
called interventionists.
I love
Fantastic.
that.
Yeah.
That's-
and
that's
it's
brilliant.
just to wait until you really need to, so that you're not there
Yeah.
at
Well-
3 o'clock in the
Right.
morning with something that like, nope, that's just a cold.
Right.
Get yourself some Zicam. You're fine.
I'm
up
just,
your
But
nose.
that's
and
what that's what I've noticed with my doc that I need to change, and I talked to you about this so long ago, and I just haven't done it yet. They're out in Ahwatukee, and so it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the same fucking thing that I had. Like every year, here's a sinus infection, or every year
Yeah.
here's this, and they're like, "Well, we'll need to see you
yeah, right.
because you need the fucking money."
Right.
Like,
No,
what-
and that's what I got to skip over today. Because that
Yeah.
same conversation that was 2 emails,
yeah.
I would have had to drive down there, wait,
Right.
go in, and he would have said, just stop for a week
Stop-
and then
right,
take half a pill.
exactly.
We just skipped
Yep.
all that.
Yeah.
It was
makes me
amazing.
insane
Yeah.
I'm so
when they do
happy right
that.
now about
Yeah.
that.
And they don't have to fight with it's less insurance hours. It's less output from them, so they're not expecting anything.
Oh, it's super convenient with what him and what I do. I call.
Yeah.
I was
awesome.
I was really surprised, but again, since the last time I did it, everything has become a lot more interconnected. So I went on Thursday to have the draw done, which is the post that I made about being in a waiting room with all these fucking people on
Oh,
their
I saw
phones
that.
talking full conversations on speakerphone. I wanted to just start shooting people, but I didn't because that's frowned upon, really.
That's a lot
it's
of
a
times.
valid
And I don't have a
or
gun.
as they say on Veep, that's a valid emotion.
There's that. So they and the phlebotomist that took it, she was adorable and was like I literally it was the draw was done in 37 seconds. It was
Wow.
so amazing. She was on it. She was fun and chipper.
good one.
Blah blah blah. But because again they're all interconnected now, they told me a few weeks ago when I got the lab order, they're like, take this, do it at your leisure, blah blah blah, and then when you get I think she said when you get the results back, book your appointment for 2 weeks later. I'm like, okay, so I got all kinds of time, right? Whatever. No, she called me the next day. Oh, we got it. We're done. Here, blah blah blah. Everything's fine. We're done.
Wow.
I was like, oh wait, whoa! I didn't even have
That's
to.
fantastic.
I don't have to book an appointment. I have to talk. That was it.
Yeah.
She's like, everything's fine. Just keep going. And if something changes, let us know. I'm like, okay.
That's
So I'm
proactive.
thrilled about that.
Right, and that's keeping medical costs lower, and
Nice.
that
Sure.
that should be everyone's goal now is to keep unnecessary checkups. Everything's fine. Can we keep going?
Right.
If there's levels that have to be checked, then yes, get your levels checked.
Right.
But the labs come back fine. You don't need to go in and spend another copay to find out everything's
Everything's
fine.
and they'll
fine.
tell you when he could have said today, like, you need to get down here.
Right.
Right.
And I
Right.
would have been, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah. So I
So
mean,
there you
wow,
go.
it's a medical show for no
So
reason.
that was all well and good. And then I feel like every week we come, I've watched another documentary on something, which
I love this
This
about
was
you.
an interesting one. And you, I think we all have Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. I watched it. It's called The Last Resort. Have you watched it? I thought it was very cute. It's it's about Miami Beach, back in the late 40s, early 50s,
Oh, I'm in.
when all the Jews who couldn't win at bingo because of the shoulder.
Yeah.
Busy at the cat.
They were there on the beach, and like they were this it was a life of vibrant living community down there where everybody loved everybody. It was a great scene.
Wow.
And two of these guys that were photographers down there, all they did was take pictures of everything and everywhere. They kind of did a historical documentation
This
of
sounds
this whole thing.
fantastic.
It's a very light,
Yeah,
charming.
very light, very interesting thing about it. Now, spoiler alert: one of the photographers is not alive during this documentary. He dies, unfortunately, and then there is a showing of all of his photography that was really big. But it's very cute because they interview a lot of the
Yeah.
people. They interview a lot of they show a film of these old ladies and old men. You know, they dance at their dances and all their different functions and dinners and things. And it's just adorable.
That's great.
And then the change that happens is it the early right at the 80s, right in the 80s when it all changes, and there's an immigration. I forget where it came from. There was an immigration thing that happened, and then crime went through the roof. I think it was they were from Cuba. There was a bunch of people from
Yeah.
Cuba that came in.
And the Haitian refugees.
That was it. That's the one.
Yeah.
And just crime went through the roof, and they were kind of all forced out. And then rent went through the roof, and they were all basically just
They weren't rich.
They had no money.
Right, right.
But they'd lived in this little apartment forever and ever and ever, and it was let's say $30 a week,
It's
and now it was $300.
gentrification. It's refugees.
Right.
It's
But again, the look back at all of the older people
yeah.
on the beaches and all dressed up for New Year's Eves and all the different events, it was a really cute thing. It's a little over an hour, I think.
Okay.
But and the one photographer who was part of the two guys, and they both talk about completely different.
Yeah.
Different styles. One took a lot of very colorful stuff. Another one was very black and white. Just different things that they saw. But the collaborative effort between the two of them covered that scene very well.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, it's called The Last Resort. It's on Netflix is where I found it. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Oh,
Cute little-
that's
That's a
great.
good referral.
I like it.
very charming.
yeah,
I like it. Have to
very
watch
true.
that.
Other than that, let's see what else. Texting back and forth with my cousin over pictures and different things because that's what we do. And I brought back to life. Nobody in this room will appreciate this except Marnie.
Okay.
I brought back to life the riding mower that was my grandfather's.
Oh, I love that.
I bought a new carburetor for it because it felt
That's
like
awesome.
awfully inexpensive, and so I've been working on it. Come to find out, there's a part I can't get because
Anymore?
it's only because it's a 33-year-old lawnmower.
Yeah, right.
So
of course.
I've got to figure out how the hell I'm going to get there.
Wouldn't there be
Someone
something on
has it.
eBay?
I've looked and there's not one available anywhere at this point. So either
Right.
I may have to make it, or
Oh, how interesting.
I may have to just write Briggs and Stratton engines and be like, you got one laying around somewhere?
Right, right.
Which
Sure.
they're not going to give a shit. I know they won't. But anyway,
Oh,
so
that's so
did that.
cool.
Yeah, so a couple little things like that.
Good for you.
I think that's really about all the excitement I could muster up for the.
Here's my new favorite part of the show. Clayton's all, or I'll build it. The fuck?
It's
I
just
think
a
that,
tiny
no, I
little.
know, but I think it's awesome that you're like, or I'll build it.
It's just a tiny little plastic piece that I
build it.
need,
What? Yeah.
and I can't find the whole.
Sure.
It's frustrating.
I can believe it, but I just love that you don't go to like, well,
I
fuck
don't think
it.
you'll be
You go
defeated
to,
by this.
I'll build it.
Well, it's ridiculous to have an entire riding mower that everything else works perfectly fine
But
on.
one
This
plastic
one little
piece.
part is your hindrance.
Right. Sure.
So there's no reason.
No,
There's
I can-
no reason
I'm
for
with
that.
Doug. It's not gonna stop
Yeah.
you. You're
Yeah.
gonna get it. I love it.
What is it? Annette talking about 2 documentaries that you watched. 9 scientists from different areas.
Oh, the most unknown. I looked up the wrong thing. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
The most unknown. Not heard of
Yeah,
it.
he's like scientists from different areas of science meet, not a band documentary.
And I found a band thing.
Bless you.
Thank
Bless
you.
you. Take your Zycam. Take your
Take your
Zycam.
Shove that up your nose.
Way up. All the way up. Mother,
your
shove that
nose.
motherfucker
And I
up
mean
your
that in the
nose.
most
Is that
loving
what he
way.
said?
He did.
Yeah.
There was a
The
motherfucker going on in
There
there.
were a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So
that
the
were
most
going on
unknown
in
is an
it.
epic documentary that sends 9 scientists to extraordinary parts of the world to uncover unexpected answers to some of humanity's biggest questions. Just came out. Oh, came out last summer.
Nice.
Oh, on Netflix.
Okay. The most unknown. I already talked about a couple weeks ago. I talked about the one Bill Nye, the science guy. That was interesting. That's
Yeah.
about global warming. That was interesting.
Did you see him on John?
Well, I didn't
John.
see
What's
it.
his name? John.
Not John Lovitz. John.
John Stewart.
No.
No.
It was hilarious.
John.
Why are we all blanking
Wow,
out?
really?
Last
What
week
is
tonight,
that?
John Oliver.
John Oliver. Did
I'm
you
like,
see him on
John-
that?
Oh, what in God's
No,
name
I
is
saw.
wrong with
I
that?
didn't see
my
it. I didn't see it
God.
on John Oliver. I
It's
saw it
so
on
good.
every other news source.
Oh,
where
Emma
he's-
said-
Oh, he told.
Oh,
He was
you
like,
want some Mentos? You want something to react?
Yeah.
He puts Mentos
well,
in
he
Coke.
started swearing like a sailor.
You're
at the
fucking
end of it.
grow-ups now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold your hand.
God, it was very.
No, I
funny.
was on. Yeah,
Yeah.
get
And
mad.
he took a blowtorch and lit the world
Yeah,
on fire.
It's on
there you
fucking
go.
fire.
Fire, motherfucker.
Yeah. Bill Nye, the
Sweet little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just
the
fuck
sweet
yeah.
little science guy. That's him.
So
Yeah.
funny.
He's like,
Yeah, no,
fuck that.
Well,
I like it.
yeah.
I like it.
Other than that, I think about everything is I think status quo. We're still enjoying lovely weather here in Phoenix, but
What's up with that?
someday it's gonna
Good shit.
change, and
the
we're all
upside
gonna die.
of climate change.
And when it
tomorrow-
does change, I don't want to hear a fucking word out of
And
anybody
tomorrow,
We've
was
never had
super
May
real.
57
in May.
I got
and
an
57
alert.
degrees in May.
Yeah.
I got an alert on my phone just a little bit ago that says, by the way, weather change. Tomorrow's going to be 9 degrees cooler than today.
Oh
Okay,
my
what? Come on.
goodness.
Yeah.
It
So
was
when it's
so
August,
windy and like hearing
shut the
tree- just
fuck up.
listening to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
trees
We
and
got a
just
month
all
off.
that.
Yeah, we have tomorrow.
No, we've had 5 months up. It has not been hot
right.
once yet.
Tomorrow, according to the Yahoo weather app that I have on my phone, tomorrow's 73, Thursday 76, 87 Friday, and 91 Saturday. Nobody can be mad at that.
No.
No.
You know what? Mom's pool's
when it
probably
does
just not
get
warm
hot,
enough to get in yet.
Shut the fuck up about it.
That's the only thing.
Because you had a beautiful
Oh, shoot.
March,
We're
April,
getting-
May.
And you know who's pissed
And
off
May
about
should
this?
be hot.
APS.
Oh,
yeah.
You know they are
sure.
because they're just like, damn it, we should be raking in
Yeah.
the money by
Yeah,
now.
well, we'll probably
Those
see rates go
fucktards.
up just because, that way they can try to
They're
get it back.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Whores.
Horse.
pisses me off.
Sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches!
Off for Christ's
Get off
sake.
my
I'm
lawn!
saying so.
Alrighty, kids, here is a look at our headlines. We're teasing next hour to do this hour's stuff. There's so much going on. It's the show. It's a Tuesday. Money was stolen for an erotic massage.
Oh, God.
Alabama makes another mistake.
Rolling on the sea level.
I'm using his sperm.
Coconut water hater gets owned.
Florida man and a tractor.
I think we should let them take a shower.
Pulling out of Alabama.
And the never-ending argument continues. These and other stories are coming up right here on Q Talk America because that's what we do in hour 2. All right,
I know that I
kids.
picked both of your headlines.
We're going
and
to
I
take
was
a
like, somebody
2.5
said both
minute
of them.
break. We'll be right back.
What a fucking disguise this is.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Oh, where's my cursor? Wrong thing. There it is. There it is. So many things going on. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Q Talk America. It's the show on a Tuesday night, and this is the beginning of the B Block, hour 2, for those of you playing along in the home game. Earlier, we had a medical intervention hour where we talked about ailments, injuries, and, well, just basically
And your mental health.
Getting now my mental health.
And
everybody
Marty's
else's
mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It's in
isn't
a new
it?
it's in a new segment we're gonna call What's Your Milligrams?
Check your milligrams.
Come on!
You're sleeping at dinner again.
Coming up a little later, Al's going to talk about some entertainment stuff. We're just going to continue talking because that's what we do. It's Q Talk America on a Tuesday. But now it's headlines, and we're going to start off with this story. Well, sadly, it's a story without a happy ending. An Oregon man has admitted stealing his daughter's Girl Scout cookie money to pay for an erotic massage. Brian Couture, 40-year-old man, pleaded guilty on Monday to initiating a false report. He was put on probation, fined $100, and ordered to perform 80 hours of community service. Oh, by the way, he'll also have to repay what he stole. The Washington County District Attorney Office said in a statement, back in March, Couture of Forest Grove called 911 to report that someone had entered his home through a sliding glass door, fought with him before fleeing, according to the local radio station. Police found the home ransacked. Police found the home ransacked and spotted with blood. Couture told officers the assailant stole $740 of his daughter's Girl Scout money from a jar. This, according to the Tacoma News Tribune. Later, investigators spotted inconsistencies in Couture's story, and then the cookie caper crumbled.
Oh,
according to the DA.
I like it.
news puns.
The DA says, quote, Couture told police that he stole the money from his daughter to pay for an erotic massage and faked the robbery when he realized he couldn't explain the missing funds. Apparently real fucking smart. The blood they found in the house was almost certainly Couture's own blood, the prosecutor added. The Girl Scouts said that the group was working with prosecutors to recover the money, but didn't really need the massage.
We don't know that he didn't need the massage.
You don't know.
No, the Girl Scouts didn't.
No.
No.
They're good. They're like, no, clear. We're good. Continue on, Mr. Wilkie.
Well, since Alabama has decided to take us back to the Handmaid's Tale days for women, they're not stopping there. Alabama Public Television chose not to air a PBS recent episode of a show cartoon called Arthur, which I didn't know has been on for 20 years.
They're on forever.
Awesome.
The episode featured a same-sex marriage, and even barely so, which I don't think this story goes into, but said during this 22nd season premiere titled Mr. Ratburn and the Special Someone, Arthur's third-grade teacher, Mr. Ratburn, marries Patrick, a chocolatier, at a wedding attended by students Arthur, Francine, Buster, and Muffy. It aired May 13th. Mike McKenzie, director of programming at APT, told NBC News on Monday that PBS sent a message to stations in mid-April alerting them to possible viewer concerns about the content of the program. After he and others at APT viewed the episode, they decided not to broadcast it and showed a rerun instead. They said the station has no plans to air it. Parents have trusted Alabama Public Television for more than 50 years to provide children's programs that entertain, educate, and inspire, McKenzie said.
This is going to do all those
it's
things.
It's going to do every one of those things. And
By the
it's
way,
so innocuous,
Can
too.
I show a wedding photo?
Absolutely.
Can I show it? Yeah, look at this. Aren't they lovely?
Yeah, this is what the controversy was.
Yeah,
over.
this is it.
Yeah, that's all they showed. They didn't even do anything else. They didn't do the whole wedding or whatever. Okay. More importantly, I thank you, Clinton.
You're very welcome.
for
We're here to
putting that
help.
out there.
I produced the show.
I think you're a good producer. Thank God someone is doing it.
I'll be back.
Most importantly, although we strongly encourage parents to watch television with their children and talk about what they have learned afterwards, which would have been great here, parents trust that their children can watch APT without their supervision. We also know that children who are younger than the target audience for Arthur also watch the program. McKenzie also said that APT, if they had aired the episode, the station would have taken away the choice of parents who felt it was inappropriate for their children. Not true. They could have just turned it off.
That's exactly right.
The vast majority of parents will not have heard about the content, whether they agree with it or not. Because of this, we felt it would be a violation of trust to broadcast the episode. GLAAD, the media advocacy group for LGBTQ people, said APT's decision was an attack to censor content and not only mean-spirited, but also a losing battle. That's a great point. TV worlds often reflect our actual world, and today that includes LGBTQ parents and families. GLAAD president and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis said, LGBTQ parents and their children deserve to see themselves reflected in the media, and if leadership of this public broadcasting station cannot serve the interests of the entire public, it's time to find someone who can. Nice.
Good.
Arthur debuted in 1996 and follows the adventures of its title character, his friends, and family. In 2005, APT, the same place, Alabama, pulled an episode of Postcards from Buster, a spinoff of Arthur, in which the character Buster met a girl who had two mothers.
Stop it.
Oh, no.
Stop it. Stop it.
Heresy!
Our feeling is that we basically have a trust with parents about our programming, and this program just doesn't fit into that. That's just... I don't know why that makes me as mad as anything else does, because it's really not as important as the Alabama about the abortion thing. But
No,
this
but
just kind of
good.
shit just drives me fucking crazy.
But it just shows how fucking
oh my
moronic they are.
They
God.
just want to live in
Right.
the dark ages. So if
Right.
they're both listening, Jenny and Annette are having an exchange that went from the athlete you're about
Yeah,
to talk to
Talk about.
We're going live.
yeah,
Well,
to where you're about to talk to
Can you hear me?
his
Can you hear
name,
me?
and then it just got mixed up with right between marriage, and it just all got
disintegrated.
it got kind of all
yeah.
done. There was just
Yeah.
a wordplay joke that got in there, so it looked like there was a little argument in the chat room. But I don't think that if they read back and read it in order, they would get that they're
Yeah,
like
that's-
everybody's one line behind.
That's what happens sometimes in
yeah,
the chat rooms.
in the chat room.
Yeah.
On a delayed feed.
Because I just caught up and I was just kind of laughing at the name you're gonna say.
Yeah. No, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Because
That's what I said
we don't know how to
initially.
pronounce this name.
Nope. And I'm probably gonna fuck it right up, but that's okay. Nope. Now I'm nervous.
Yep.
Duty Chand.
Yeah, I think
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Annette, please tell us if we're right.
Duty Chand becomes first openly gay Indian athlete. This is very exciting.
Wow.
Except it
I
was
feel like-
due to blackmail by her sister. So that's not as
We don't care how you get here.
Right. Well,
Maybe we do
I'd
a
like
little
you
bit.
to have a little bit more of a say in it for yourself.
And I don't know if it's the
but-
news or like how it's being covered, but I feel like they're making like leaps and bounds progress, and I feel like they've gone
No,
from 0 to
but
60 in India in the last
India
since we've
has.
been doing this. Yeah.
India has. Absolutely, that's true. The 23-year-old athlete says that she has been seeing her partner, who comes from her village, for almost 5 years. Chan says the Indian Supreme Court's historic decision to discriminate, or decriminalize,
Yeah.
pick the word,
Yeah.
gay sex in 2018 encouraged her to speak publicly about her sexuality. But some members of her family have not accepted her relationship. I am having a relationship with a 19-year-old woman from my village. This I'm going to absolutely.
Well, he said you did go with the first name, so carry on.
Well, good.
Samosa to you.
Chaka Gopalpur
Sure.
for the past 5 years.
And that'd be nice.
Please do. She told reporters that's who she's been seeing. I have found someone who is my soulmate. I have always believed that everyone should have the freedom to love. There's no greater emotion than love, and it should not be denied. Despite attitudes slowly changing in India, Chan told PTI news agency that some of the members of her family do not accept her decision, and her sister has threatened to expel her from the family. My eldest sister feels that my partner is interested in my property. She has told me that she will send me to jail for having this relationship. Isn't it how different
Yeah.
it is?
That can happen to straight people. you know.
Again, buy a
Chand
shovel.
was the first Indian sprinter to reach a final at a global athletics event in 2013. In 2014, she was banned from competing by the Athletics Federation of India after failing a hormone test, which found she had unusually high testosterone levels, a condition known as hyper. Be nice.
Hypertestosterone?
No, it's like androgyny, but
Yeah. Hyperandrogenism.
hyperandrogenism. Had the androgyny part, but I just couldn't figure out how
Yeah.
to put that together. Her legal team successfully argued the ruling was discriminatory and flawed at a hearing in 2015. The following year, she qualified for the Rio Olympics, and in 2018, she won 2 silver medals at the Asian Games. So,
Nice.
yeah, but
And as Annette says, we're going to see her in the Tokyo Olympics.
oh, wonderful! Oh, Duty,
Duty Chand.
right?
Which you,
so-
that's how you pronounce it. You went
yeah.
really slowly.
You got it right.
I should have, yeah. The but there was
It's hard.
Yeah, there was something here. Sister's blackmail forced me to come out. That's why it said that. There was something about that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But good for her.
I
Yeah.
work with a lot of people
for
from
her.
different places, and you always have to like go at their names with like a little bit of confidence and a little bit of
Especially
like,
in medicine.
please correct me.
Absolutely.
Especially when somebody's name is Upalapu and you just want to go
Yeah.
Oompa Loompa. You know what I mean? Oh, you just want to
My
go
doctor
wrong.
in,
You
at
wanna
City of
run with
Hope,
that, yeah.
her name, and Anant, you would know these. Her name it's Amrita. So everyone calls her Amrita. And that's not how you say it. It's like, I guess it's like Amrita. You know,
Oh,
they're
sure.
supposed to say it that way. But even she sometimes, because she's lived here for so long, she's like, "Hi, I'm Amrita," and her mother yells at her. She's like, "You don't even know how to say your name right anymore." But it's Amrita. But yeah, I know. Sometimes you
Yeah.
look at those names and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm
Oompa
gonna-
Loompa.
Yeah.
And he's like, please call me Suresh. I'm like, no, I got the Upalapu down. I've got it down. But he brought samosas in for Easter. He went to this.
Oh.
He found an Indian restaurant for me to enjoy, and he brought in samosas for us for
Samosas
Easter.
are everything.
Oh my God, they're so delicious.
I was reading something else, but following along with the mispronunciation of a name.
No.
It's not Rihanna, it's Rihanna. Everybody calls her Rihanna.
Really?
Yeah, her real name is Rihanna.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you know?
Everybody calls
while
her
we're
Rihanna.
while we're on that subject, total. left
and it's
turn.
Donna
had something up
Summer.
there.
It
Am I
is. Oh
right?
God.
Not Donna
I had to
Summer.
tell Kevin Dasso that. I told Kevin Dasso famously because he posted on it.
Also, it's
Al
Marnie
Perkins
Ryer,
will murder you in your
not
sleep.
Marnie
Also,
Reiner.
it's Dick.
Yeah, right.
It's former Vice President
It's
Dick
Dick.
Cheney.
Cheney.
It's not
Cheney?
Cheney.
It's Cheney.
And the only person that does it right is
It's son of a bitch
on
is what I
MSNBC.
thought it
Chris
was.
Chris Matthews.
Matthews.
Okay.
Always calls him Cheney, and everyone started correcting him. And one day he was like, "It's how he pronounces his name," but he just doesn't. Dick Cheney never corrects anybody.
Sure.
But that is how they pronounce their own name. It's not Cheney.
how
and it,
interesting.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
funny because I work
Never
with
has
somebody with
been.
that name, and they
Cheney.
pronounce it Cheney.
Yeah. And
Oh,
they
that's
don't.
interesting.
Well, I'm sure
I
everybody's
know.
got their own.
But Rihanna, that's interesting.
Very, yeah.
Well, ain't that a kick?
I mean,
in the
I'm sure.
pants?
If
It's
you
a
want,
kick
like,
in the
you
pants.
could tell everybody your last name was Wildkey.
That's
Right?
true.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody does their own
Do it
spin
the
on
wrong
stuff,
way,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Very true.
So
Senor.
I know I gotta find it. So speaking of the the article disappeared. Speaking of the Alabamas, Kristen Wiig's new Lionsgate comedy pulls out of Georgia following anti-abortion bill signing. So there is a lot of
I wish everything else would pull out of Georgia.
there is a lot of filming that goes on in Georgia. The Walking Dead is down there.
right.
Ozarks
I
is
said
filmed
it.
down there. Drop Dead Diva was filmed down there.
Okay.
Georgia has a very thriving film industry.
Yep.
So now
Had.
right, just like North Carolina with their discrimination bill
Sure,
against
right,
the
that's right.
LGBTQ community, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
A feature.
The gay alphabet.
A feature film reunion of the creative team behind Bridesmaids will no longer be shot in Georgia following the signing of an anti-abortion legislation in the Hollywood-centric state. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo's new comedy, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, has pulled out of the state in light of its so-called heartbeat bill, a rep for Wiig told Variety. Wiig is a co-writer and star alongside Oscar nominee Mumolo, who's nominated for Momolo, I think is how you say her name. Speaking of things I don't know how to pronounce. For Bridesmaids. A spokesperson for Lionsgate had no immediate comment because they're a big corporation and they don't want to get on either side of it. And recently, Ozarks. What's that guy's name?
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman, writer, star, and sometime director of Ozarks, has said they will pull out of Georgia. They will not.
I saw related news on this just today, just before coming over here, that California, I guess where many of these people are based out of, is now going to give tax breaks. They're getting ahead of Kirsten. How do you say her name?
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig and Jason Bateman.
Could be Wiig.
They're
we don't know.
proactively saying we will give you tax
Why
breaks
Ig?
if you don't. If it's like
Yeah.
the APB has gone out and don't go to Shitville to do.
Right, because Georgia gives those great incentives.
Right now
but
they're saying that they will
yeah.
give you money to not do it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, good.
interesting. And I liked that Jason Bateman, who got in a tiny bit of trouble last year for not listening to his co-star, Jessica Walter, when she said that, what's his butt from Jeffrey Tambor
Yes,
did
yes.
not treat her well and often berated her on set.
wow.
Yeah.
And he tried to pass it off as like an actory thing, and she was like, no, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a misogynist.
And then he had to walk it back because he got some bad press and was like, oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like,
I hear it
But
now.
good, now
I'm
he's on
hearing
board.
you.
and you
Yeah.
and you also have to say, like, just because someone treats you well doesn't mean they don't treat someone else
That's
like
right.
shit.
That's
That's
such
right.
an important
Yeah,
point.
that's
Yeah.
really true. It's really true.
That is
But it is
true.
also important in these times to stand up for someone that you believe might be in the right. Like, you might have to stand up and say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I support
this.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough time. Like, you want to believe the whim, but you also want to stand by people that you think might not do that until
Sure.
Yeah,
someone
Sure.
tells you, oh, no, they do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a
tricky.
lot of people that thought that what's his butt from the Today Show, that tool,
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
And believe it or not, there's probably women he didn't sexually harass or assault. So
Right.
they, if you ask them, they'd be like, "Isn't that so great?" And it's like, but he,
That
sexually
never
molested
happened.
But
30
the
women.
minute you,
Yeah.
but the minute you
The
hear
door
that someone
lock.
has a door
That's
lock,
the greatest story ever.
then you just know,
Yeah.
you're
in
a predator.
horrible way.
No one needs
Right. No
an
one needs
automatic
that.
lock. You're like, yeah, no.
Or Girl Scout cookie money.
Right?
No.
They don't need
I
massages.
do need that Girl Scout cookie money. I don't want an erotic massage. It's not your business what I do with that.
I'd like a neurotic massage.
Yeah.
Can I get
Yeah.
a neurotic
From our
massage?
earlier hour.
I think a couple people that have touched me were neurotic, so I may have already had that.
Very different type of massage,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Well, speaking of things that everybody likes and doesn't like, there's all kinds of people who have opinions on coconut water. Well, Vita Coco has
We make jokes about this.
Every
Vita
single
Coco has
day.
gone off the rails, and I laughed out loud when I read this story earlier today, so I had to share it. The Coconut Waters community coordinator, Lane Rawlings, tweeted an image of herself on the brand's main account page, clutching a jug of what she claims is her own urine. The image was in response to a Twitter troll who had told Vita Coco online, quote, "I would rather drink your social media person's piss than your product."
Okay.
He said that he would rather drink the Vita Coco's social media representative. Well, go to great lengths to prove the hater wrong, Vita Coco says. So what she did was she posted a picture of her in a bathroom stall with a jug that says Vita Coco on it and asked him what his address was.
Atta girl.
So wait, let's go with boom.
Your product is bullshit, but atta
That's
girl.
her with their Vita Coco thing, and then again at the bottom of the tweet, what's your address? Pozansky is the guy. Tony Pozansky is the name. He says he tweeted at Vita Coco directly and said, "Don't come for me." Naturally, Vita Coco came at him.
Of course they did.
And told him, "Let us send you some. Don't knock until you try it."
Yeah.
In response to this, Pozansky got angry and wrote, "Fuck that. Save that nasty shit for someone else. I'd rather drink your piss water." That's when she's in the picture. Then in a move that shook fans, the brand at the Vita Co tweeted back the image that I just showed you. Pozansky tweeted back, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" along with a slew of other tweets that were hateful, expressing how funny he thought it was. Also, the whole thing that he'd then been owned by coconut water.
Yeah. That's a low day in anyone's life.
Yeah. When asked why the brand
coconut water's winning.
when asked why the brand went to these links, she said that they hear people loud and clear now. Everyone loves the taste of coconut water, but that they have a new drink, Vita Coco pressed coconut, that is truly impossible to hate. Through it all, Pozansky told HuffPost that he thought the pee jug photo was an awesome comeback.
Yeah.
The best from a brand. I respect it, but coconut water is still shit, he says.
I'm going to call that
Now,
a tie.
if anybody else has followed, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
The one from Wendy's.
That's the
She's-
best.
Whoever
That was
that
the
goes,
best one.
she's
Yes.
on it. And then there's been stuff between Burger King and McDonald's as well that is just priceless.
Yeah.
And I love that they're not trying to all be pussyfooting around stuff. They're just, the one that did.
They also get social media.
Yeah, they totally. Well, they're sure
Right.
these are
They're
kids,
young, yeah.
rather like
Yeah.
20-year-olds doing
Yeah.
this shit.
Playing ping pong and then stopping to do a tweet.
The one thing that I loved about Wendy's, because there was a slam, I guess. Chick-fil-A had posted something in regards to they had the best chicken sandwich,
Right,
yada yada
right,
yada
right.
yada. What's better about it? And Wendy's is like, well, we're open on Sundays.
That was super good. Yeah.
I
So
just-
simple.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You can get ours on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. Nana boo boo.
Fair point, well made.
Yes.
They didn't attack
I wish
Chick-fil-A. They
I
didn't
wish
go like the
Wendy's
hate
had done
chicken
something
or
like
whatever.
and
They
we like
just
the
were like,
gays.
No.
open on Sundays.
Just letting you know where they were available. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Can't get your product on Sundays.
We're open on Sunday and we like the gays.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I love
Funny
it.
shit.
Yep.
Continue on, Mr.
All right.
Mr. Is it Wilkie? Is it Wilkie?
It's Wilkie.
Is it Wilkie?
It is
I just want to make
Wilkie.
sure.
That's correct. It's Rihanna.
You better work.
Rihanna.
Rihanna Wilkie.
So I love it is. It's
Little work.
Rihanna
What you
Wilkie.
got? Do the work.
So I love Florida Man, and
Who doesn't?
and so in honor, and this is in honor of Clayton too.
Well,
This is-
actually, it's
and-
also because Kat's gone.
and
you're-
Kat's gone.
You're
That's right.
helping out.
I'm helping Kat out because she loves Florida Man and tried to make it her own segment, even though I started it.
Right.
Okay, so a 72-year-old Florida man was arrested. This also ties in Clayton, though. Was arrested last month, not for the 72-year-old.
I get what you're saying. I know. Just read
after
the
he was
story.
caught on video chasing down his neighbor on a tractor during a dispute over property. The St. Johns County Sheriff told News 4 JAX that on June 19th, Howell Lamar Morris of St. Augustine was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill.
With intent to mow.
The video of the bizarre incident was released Tuesday.
there's a video?
Oh, there is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wish I'd have known.
Go to foxnews.com.
Really?
Yep, there's the video right at the top.
I'll look it up.
Okay, so authorities had received a disturbance call around 8 p.m. when officers arrived on the scene. Scott Lynch, 53, told them he was arguing with Morris, his neighbor, over property. When the 72-year-old climbed on his tractor and chased him, yelling, "Run, fat ass." The video.
Get off my lawn.
Wait till you see the video, though. The video filmed by Lynch's wife led to Morris's arrest. The video shows Lynch running for his life as Morris chased him on the tractor. The 52-year-old was able to finally escape when he entered his garage and shut the door. In a phone call to 911, the dispatcher obtained by the television station, Lynch's wife is heard describing what she saw. "He chased him down on his tractor, and my husband had to run." Yes. Police and Morris said Morris was arrested after police reviewed the video, which showed him steer the tractor toward the victim as he was running to his own driveway. All right. Did you find it?
I think this is it. I don't know if there's audio, but remember, it's a little jittery on the. Let's see if this is really.
Yeah. This is one of them. Yeah.
There's more.
Oh God.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
on the wrong. Hang on, I need
The one I have
this.
is 28
Oh
seconds.
my God.
Yeah, that's it. Run, fat ass.
That is good time.
Boy, look at that good lawn, though.
Are you giving him points for having a good lawn?
Yes. Yes.
And trying to commit attempted murder?
With a
With a
tractor.
tractor.
Oh, my
You gotta
God.
be creative. You know what I mean?
That is
And
funny.
he is.
There's another one? Did you say?
Well, the one I have is from Fox. No, I think it's the same one.
Okay, because they only show like a 20.
Yeah, this is 28 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get anything
No, I
better
think
than that.
no. That's a
I think we maxed out on this
run,
one.
fat ass. That's fantastic.
Unless you want to see the mugshot of the guy. It looks pretty frightening.
Oh, the mugshot's awful.
Oh, that's
No,
funny.
I
Marnie,
think I'm
you're up.
good.
All right.
That's a different Florida man's tractor story than I had. So
Oh
we
my
may have,
God, of course
I may
there's
have
more
to
than
revisit
one.
this one, unless that's the one
Good
you had.
Lord.
All righty. Sorry, I'm going in between screens. So, for Al, this is a new roller coaster for you, sir.
Oh, I'm in. Show me a video.
Wow.
All right. This cruise ship
They hit
will
break
have the
express?
first at-sea roller coaster.
Okay.
For real. It's like a little excitement on your vacation. Carnival Cruise Line is about to offer something special for thrill seekers. The first ever at-sea roller coaster. Dubbed the Bolt Ultimate Sea Coaster, this new amenity will debut on the Mardi Gras ship next year. The Mardi Gras ship will depart from the cruise line's Port Canaveral
Yeah.
terminal, according to the cruise line, as you might imagine. Bringing the innovative concept of a roller coaster on top of a cruise ship to life was no easy feat. Creating the first shipboard roller coaster posed quite a challenge, as it's never been done. That's why it's the first. This is a fucking ridiculous article. But anyway, the design and movement of the ship needed to be factored into the engineering and design, something that doesn't need to be accounted for on a land-based coaster. Do you have it? Or
I'm
no?
going to get it.
Yeah.
You keep reading.
Okay.
I'm
You
going
keep
The
reading.
The
roller
Bolt
coaster on a
Sea-
cruise
the
ship.
Bolt Ultimate Sea Coaster is a single-car electric coaster. It's called a spike coaster, just in case you need to know. That allows the
for
passenger to
clearing that up.
control the speed.
Oh, it's no fun.
Doesn't sound dangerous at all.
No, what could possibly go
100.
wrong?
Absolutely.
100.
What could possibly go wrong out in the ocean?
Two passengers can zip along together along a track that sits 187 feet above sea level. There is a minimum height requirement of 43 inches
Naturally.
and a maximum height of 76 inches to ride the Bolt Ultimate.
6'4".
Okay. Hold on to your hats, because this coaster on the sea has drops that can reach speeds of up to 40 miles an hour.
Aw.
Right? If you go as fast as you can for the entire ride, it takes just 1 minute to complete. Imagine rushing through the open air with views of the ocean all around you. It sounds pretty incredible.
I'm
if
in.
Not slightly terrifying. Check it out. They have a video of how it works.
Well, I'm going to show you that in just
cool.
mere
Okay.
seconds. As soon as this
If
fucking
you're
ad
on the
plays
road,
for
it's
coconut
just
water.
one car,
No, there are two of them that are
two
on.
cars.
Two cars.
Can you still get norovirus on
Yeah,
the roller
yes.
coaster?
I'm not sure.
Yes. I have to. When I was on a cruise last.
Oh, here's the point. Here's actually the point of view. This is the point of view.
Oh my god,
The fuck is that? What are they cutting? Wait, what the?
they're just.
Oh,
showing
these
you.
are the. Well, that's the car.
Oh,
There's a
there
lady.
you go.
Race car levels of acceleration.
at 40 miles an hour.
My gosh.
180.
Buckle up for an unforgettable ride on Mardi Gras.
Oh, Christine Duffy. Good on you.
Oh, certified fun. Look at that.
Something. Okay, well, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, similar. Oh, that's
Oh.
nobody cares about that. That's who cares about that? That's in
Well, they're
Germany.
just trying to show
But it
you.
gives you an idea of like.
Yeah,
What they're doing.
Oh.
yeah, and
No.
that's on the
It
ground.
looks like you could fly right clean off of that.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see. Let's go back to the ship. Come on. I want to see the topsy-turvy ship stalled out in the middle of the ocean. Oh, it's like you're riding a jet ski. I see what
Yeah,
they're doing.
yeah.
I gotcha. I do it. I do
Yeah,
enjoy
sure,
a roller
sure.
coaster.
No, wait,
Now,
the thing
keep in
is-
mind, I'm not doing that shit on the stratosphere, though.
Right now, I was funny you should mention the stratosphere. The roller coaster at the top of the stratosphere is super boring. Yes, you're
Really?
106 stories up.
Okay.
So there is something to be said about going on a dip where you can
Yeah.
see down for eternity.
Yeah.
Sure.
But the roller coaster is pretty boring. But
I don't know.
that slingshot motherfucker, where they put 4 Gs
Yeah,
up your
yeah,
ass
yeah.
and
Yep,
sling you
yep,
into the sky,
yep.
you go from 103
No,
to 110 stories, then free fall down.
Right.
That ain't right.
Right. This looks like a child's ride right now.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
something at a traveling
I'm going to
carnival.
be honest with you, it is not as bad as I thought it was going to
No.
be.
No, but I would
Well,
like
it
to see
physically
it.
can't be if you're on a boat, because any waves at all, they'd have to shut that down constantly.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. But it's just fun. Woo, look at all
Yeah,
this.
but like to be like, I can go with the views and all of that kind of stuff. I just want to see the fucking thing on the
Oh
boat.
yeah, I mean the views at Magic Mountain are of a beautiful parking lot. I mean it's very scenic.
Right.
Right.
Well, so this is what it's supposed to
I want-
become. Like this is the.
yeah, we're going to bail out of that.
Oh yeah, throughout the whole ship.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So
Hear
go
people
throughout
screaming.
the whole ship.
Because if you remember, I think
I get it now.
Yeah.
the
I get it.
Sahara had a roller coaster in the back
Oh,
parking lot, but it went through the casino.
Yes.
So at one
Right.
point you came in and you
You
could hear all the
secondhand
people
smoke.
screaming and
Yeah, right.
got a good hit of secondhand smoke.
Yeah. Fair. That's true.
Just a whisper of cancer.
Just a whisper of
Yeah.
it. My gosh. That's so true.
All right, so finishing my portion of the story,
stories.
which I guess I cleared it out. Nope. I guess I erased it, and we'd have to go back and listen to what I said.
I don't know what you said.
I don't either. Oh,
You were
some
gonna
guy
change this.
that died. The family got an order to extract his semen for.
Oh, I saw that.
yeah,
He
yeah.
died at what starts with the P, doesn't it? No, wait. Yeah.
Starts with the P, starts with the D.
No, the what's the academy that he die at P, what's the
West Point,
maybe it was West Point.
Annapolis.
I think it may have been West Point. He was a young kid.
Cadet.
But I don't know why. I thought maybe I'm reading the wrong story, but I thought that was the one. But I was like, my question was, if he was so young, why were they already storing and freezing his semen? Like I don't. Was there just
sorry, honey.
was there a worry that he was gonna die at war, or like I don't know what the deal was.
I don't know, but you hear that shit all the time where somebody's like, "Can we have a sperm?" No, cannot.
Yeah. Right.
So Florida man, I'll just jump to
yes.
the other Florida story I had, which I thought
Thank
this
you.
was the story that
Oh,
you
good.
had.
I'm glad there was another tractor.
You're right.
A
Joe.
police
That one-
officer in Haines City, Florida, was inside a local business on May 4 when he heard a loud noise outside.
May the 4th be with you.
Looking in the parking lot, he found Gary Anderson, 68 years old, just crashed his riding lawnmower, including trailer, carrying a cooler, into the officer's cruiser. This was reported by the Miami Herald. The officer approaches the guy, and the guy says, quote, "Fuck it, I'm drunk. Take me to jail." Well, he was so intoxicated, police said that he failed a field sobriety test and, quote, almost fell to the ground multiple times.
I can't walk in fields either. I feel that's unfair.
At the police station, Anderson accused police of poisoning him and requested that he be taken to the hospital immediately, where test results found his blood alcohol content to be 3 times Florida's legal limit.
Nice.
Anderson does have
We're
2.
not even at Diana Ross levels. It's like 0.24.
Let's even go into Blockbuster.
Yeah, no.
Fucking wimp.
Did he have a fur coat on? Did he glam it up?
Anderson has 2 prior DUI convictions and has not had a driver's license since 1978.
Oh my God.
Quote, it's never a good idea to get behind the wheel drunk, noted Police Chief Jim Elmsky, even if that wheel is to a Craftsman, a Massey Ferguson, or a John Deere tractor.
The best part is he's not had a driver's license longer than I've had a driver's license.
I know. Wow. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Oh, and we will round out our headline section with, I've got to do this. We'll talk in that in a second. The argument as old as time. Well, what began as a quiet family dinner at home quickly escalated into a front yard brawl on April 22 in Bedford, Virginia. That's according to Fox News. Mark Turner, 56, and his girlfriend, her son, and his girlfriend had retired to the front yard after dinner when an argument broke out between the 2 men about whether a Chevrolet or a Ford was the better vehicle. Tale as old as time. According to Bedford County Commonwealth Attorney Wes Nance, Turner allegedly pulled out a knife but ended up slashing his girlfriend's back as she tried to calm the situation. She was trying to. He was trying to zen it out, and she couldn't quite get there. Next, Turner went inside and retrieved a gun, but as his girlfriend again tried to get between him and her son, he shot her 5 times in the leg.
Oh my God!
She just her nickname's Lucky. He also shot her son in the arm, and 2 of his stray bullets hit the son's girlfriend in her back and cheek. I'm not sure if it was her back cheek or her front cheek. Doesn't say. Finally, according to the prosecutors, Turner barricaded himself in the house where police eventually shot him with a beanbag round and took him into custody. Turner was charged with felony malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a felon. He was taken to the police station in a Dodge.
Well, isn't that... There you have it.
There you have it.
So as to avoid further incident, we have hired a Dodge.
I have one question.
You could ask it.
Does that mean he does win the argument, though?
No.
Because he shot everybody.
Tale as old as time. No, he doesn't win shit.
His name is now Limpy.
That's fantastic.
But that girl needs to sit the fuck down.
Yeah, she does.
She's trying to zen moment all this bullshit, and it ain't gonna happen. She just
Not okay.
can't do it.
No, can't do it.
Can't do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Not in the least.
God.
My gosh.
Yep.
I remember back home there was
She went
always a
from
debate.
Lucky to Limpy.
Well, yeah. Yeah, how'd you get that scar on your back? That's a long story.
Your backside.
Somebody liked a Chevy, somebody liked a Ford. Now
Ain't
I
that
can't.
how it always
and aren't
started?
they-
Now I can't walk.
And I know nothing about cars, but you do. Aren't they both General Motors, though?
No, Ford is Ford.
Oh.
Chevy
Ford
is
is
General
Ford.
Motors.
Okay. I was thinking of is it Camaro and
Camaro and Firebird
are
and
still
Trans Am.
all
That's all
one?
General Motors.
Right. Okay, that's all. So for them to have an argument, stupid.
No,
'cause
so
it's
the
same
fight
fucking car.
then would become Camaro, Trans Am, or Mustang.
Mustang, right? Because that's
Or
Ford.
Charger, like the
On-
Dodges,
on
like
back
all
end,
their
I
muscle
got it
cars.
now.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, you'd
The
spell
Dodge Charger. I was
Dodge Charger.
sounds like the superhero that has to wear a helmet because of a mental illness. Is he dodging or charging?
We don't know yet, but he's got a helmet.
He's not sure.
Duck and cover.
That's
Right.
funny.
The first time I rented a Dodge Charger, I'm like, this is a
No.
very confused vehicle. It doesn't know what it wants to do.
Is it dodging or charging?
We're not sure, but we're just going to
Made
let
me
him
laugh for the whole ride to California.
Oh, all right,
stuff.
now let's
I
do
like
this
it.
and see what happens.
Well, everything has ended, so there's not really a lot to talk about.
But we can talk about it. Well, I haven't been here since Deep ended.
Okay, so we had all the shows ending. So The Big Bang Theory went out, Game of Thrones went out, Saturday Night Live did its season finale with a couple of last-minute firecrackers. And then it's just whatever y'all want to talk about, because there really is not much
I'm sure we can come up with some.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Veep.
going the fuck on.
Oh, and I have a little, well, you may already know this, but I have a little thing about Game of Thrones, too, though I've never
Yep.
watched it, but it's just
too.
funny because I heard about it, so. All right, kids, we'll be back in about 2 minutes, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
So you're wearing a leather sweater in the dead of summer. You look good.
Thank you.
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
That's fair. Really, that's fair. Hi, everybody. We're back. We were just talking about the snacks that make it into the studio for the show. And Doug just revealed that the reason we went up with lemon cake is because they decided not to get the little cupcakes that were $20.
That's right.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It is.
And lemon cake is lovely. Lovely with tea or coffee
And these
or
grapes.
wine.
They were on sale at the Fry's. I got grapes and I got more strawberry. For some reason, strawberries are just plentiful, and I need a lot of them. I like the strawberry.
What's the first? Yeah, we get the 2 strawberry seasons. And this is strawberry season number 1.
The berries.
Strawberry
AJ's
season.
does have one we didn't buy. I thought they were cute though. It's coffee cakes, but they're coffee cake bites.
I love it.
Just a bite.
Blanche.
Just a hint.
You don't have to have the whole.
You can eat a little bit or all of them. It's your choice.
You don't have to eat the whole piece. Just a bite.
Al Perkins, boys and girls.
I'm not hungry. I'll just pick.
I'll just have a bite.
Just have a bite of yours.
Can I have a bite of yours? Exactly.
My answer to that is no. I don't
Yeah.
want my own fries. I want 1 or 2 of your fries.
You gonna
not
eat that
all of them.
pickle?
If I'm with you, just order 2 things
Exactly.
of fries.
Right.
Because if I said I don't want fries, I was lying.
Lying.
From the minute I opened my mouth to the end of that sentence, it was just a lie.
Fair.
I always want French fries. Always. Just go with
Why
that.
not?
Always.
Yes, the answer is always yes.
It's a vegetable, for God's sake.
Even if I started off not wanting one, the minute I saw them, my
You
answer
wanted them.
changed, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to need one of those.
Right, the second they're set down in front of you, oh, those look good.
Then it's like, I can't, like, I may die if I don't have one. French fries become a life or death experience real quick.
I don't want to be around you if that ever happens.
I went to that Shake Shack, and I'm like, no, I'll just have a burger and a milkshake, and then I'm going to need those fries.
Oh my God, I eat fries.
Why didn't you charge me for them? Why are they not on my tray? So SNL finished season, I don't know, 963.
Sure.
I've lost count.
44.
44. And they went out with, I thought, with like a really nice bang. Adam Sandler, who I really thought they should have saved for the end. It was his first time back, which I did not realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize that
Since
either.
he left the show. And Adam Sandler, very
Jew.
very yes, very Jewy,
Jewish.
very Jewy, very funny, very well done. In that Shawn Mendes, have we talked about this motherfucker?
Mm-hmm.
He is hotter than
Yeah,
fuck.
he's hotter than hell.
Oh,
And now he's doing an underwear promotion too.
Of
She's
course
the
he-
part-time
of course he
model.
The
is.
gays have lost their mind.
Yeah.
and for good reason, because
Yeah.
that is
Canadian singer, cutie.
a hottie. And those arms. Oh my goodness.
He has
those
to hold a
arms.
guitar.
You know, he's got to hold something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hold me up, baby. So he was even part of the opening skit, which I thought was funny, where they were all doing one of the skits they're doing Adam Sandler characters. Very sweet. Emma Thompson came in. I'm not sure what she did. I feel like she wasn't in the episode at all. Like when it ended, I was like, oh, Emma Thompson was in that. Like they just seem to do all kinds of stuff, and I don't know why, but she's just delightful. And then the last one was Paul Rudd, and it just proves that 44 years later, they still got something to say because Paul Rudd was kind of funny.
No.
The skits were kind of weak, though.
I didn't care for the act, but like the news, but still funny,
Still great, yeah.
But Adam Sandler coming back as Opera Man,
That was so
and you
wonderful.
really forget after all these years how funny Opera Man
Yeah.
I
was.
forgot all about that.
And just how
Yeah.
funny Adam Sandler actually can
is.
be. Yeah.
Because he just became such a joke on himself with bad movie after
right.
bad
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
But oh my god, that Opera Man! I'm like,
Was
that's
hilarious.
really clever, very clever. And then the Game of Thrones ended. It is with all shows. Everybody's pissed off or unhappy. You didn't write it. You don't own HBO. There's like
Right.
lawsuits going on. People are losing their
It's
minds,
fucking,
signing
they really
petitions.
Are
The
losing
reaction
their
says
mind.
more than anything. Any weaknesses of the
Unsubscribe
script of the
HBO,
show
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and I didn't write it. I don't care.
Did you see? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
Did you see before I forget? Colbert last night. Clayton, did you see?
I
Stephen
have
Colbert?
not. No.
Okay, I now DVR because he's just so fucking funny.
He's
And
awesome.
I'll
I
just-
DVR. I just never seem
Oh
to
my
have time to watch it.
God, it's so funny. So I knew he was going to do Game of Thrones because he's all big into his big thing is Lord of the Rings. All that shit.
right.
So he said,
Oh,
he
that-
said he was doing his Meanwhile segment for Game of Thrones, and he said that actually people are upset for more than one reason. Some are upset because they don't like the ending. Some are just upset that it's over. Like
Right,
people are
yeah.
just like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to live?" And he said, such a great joke. He said, "So there are actually, and this is the true part. There are counselors on standby.
Yeah.
and I think it was I don't know,
That's
it was
right.
Florida.
I heard this.
Yeah.
To counsel people over their Game of Thrones issues,
isn't
and
that
then
sad?
this is the great part of the joke. He goes, and they're when you go to see them, they're there to slap the shit out of you and tell you to grow the fuck up. It's just a fucking TV show.
Amen.
So I don't have the delivery that Stephen Colbert has, but that just cracked me up when I just saw it
That's
today.
awesome.
Yeah.
And which is like right. I mean, we all have our favorite shows and things that you love, and I did not watch the whole thing. I did something I've never done before. I thought I'll just watch the final episode, so
Oh,
I did.
okay.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know who the people were or what was going
Right.
on, it was just interesting because I piece it together. I will say, it's absolutely beautiful cinematography.
Oh yeah.
Now I get
and
it.
The
I'm like,
the scoring. Is,
I would watch 7 years of that show, but I don't know. I guess I just the ending didn't do anything to me because I'm not emotionally invested in
Yeah.
it. So
And they set themselves up for a lot of sequels. They
Yeah.
actually.
So one question
You
I
could
have.
watch each person. They counting off and go, "That's a sequel."
Yeah.
That's a sequel.
Well, I got
That's
that
a doable
feeling,
sequel.
even with my limited knowledge of that show, but my vast knowledge of watching a million TV shows. And I'm not asking you to tell me the whole 8 years of the show, but
They all
that Jon
died.
Snow at the end, that looked like a spinoff to me.
this might be
Is
a
that him
spoiler.
go? Oh, are we supposed to
I
spoiler
don't know.
alert?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, I don't fucking care.
I don't
Yeah, it's
fucking
too
know.
late.
Fuck off. So, if you don't know the end of Game of Thrones by now, you're not a big
Right.
fan. So, when Jon Snow's going away at the end, is that to his exile, or was he leaving his exile?
That's the-
Did he
that's the
convince the
great-
jailers this is to like
They were
go
all
with
his
him?
friends. They were all his friends.
okay, that's
and
what
a
I
couple
got out of
episodes
it.
prior, they said that as far north as they are, the castle that used to watch between the dead and the living,
Yeah.
was they called it the Wall, and that's where your watch. What you went for your watch. Those were the guardians of the Wall.
Okay.
The Castle Black, the Crows, all those different names. He was supposed to go there and accept exiles,
Right.
bastards, orphans, the broken.
Got
he
it.
was supposed to stay there and
Sounds
help
like a
them.
party.
When he got there,
he was going to be like their person.
their person. When he
Oh.
got there, and he was like, "We could all just leave," because all the people
Okay,
there.
so I did get it right.
Yeah, the people
Okay.
that were all there and waiting were the people that lived north of the Wall, and they were waiting to go back to their life. They had come down to the south to help.
I kind of like that.
They were going back to be free, so he was kind of ignoring his sentence and going to live free north
Okay,
of the Wall.
that's what I thought.
With
I
his
thought that
dog.
was beautiful.
And what I think, because he's one of the people that can ride a dragon,
Yeah.
he
Can go
also,
find the dragon.
He and the dragon, the dog, are going to be like the bat signal, which
Got
I said
it.
as a joke, but I'm like, no, that's the whole.
No.
That's the whole sequel, all built up as
No, that's what I got. out
Bran
of
the
it.
Broken can wharf into them all, or whatever it's called, can go in, bat signal the dragon, bring them all back to fight crime, and I'm
Yep.
like, we're good.
Sounds good.
How to
But-
Tame Your Dragon. We're full circle.
Right, and I have to get his name right.
Did
'cause
you?
that's-
Did anybody happen to see the analogy of the horse drawing and the Game of Thrones? This cracked me
horse
up.
drawing.
This is it. So season 1, it's a beautiful
Oh, yeah.
horse drawing. And by you get to 7, just
It's
like
Carl.
a 3-year-old drew it.
Carl.
That's just a wonderful analogy of how it just started beautifully and progressively just went to shit.
Oh, I can just go to this in my music because I'm
And
playing
again,
this
I've
song
never
for days.
watched it, so I don't really know what the fuck. But I've
So,
been hearing people lose their
the
mind.
greatest thing out of this, and I will go to my actual music because the music has been so beautiful. Now, Lost, people had their problems with Lost, but Michael Giacchino, Oscar-winning composer, he ended up doing Up, and he did a couple other things. Oscar-nominated, Oscar-winning, was the composer for Lost, and
Okay.
did those beautiful scores, which should really not be on network TV. Like ABC spent all the money on Lost. They
Yeah.
had that gorgeous cinematography. They had that score that was often like you'd be watching it and just be like, "This is beautiful."
Yeah.
And they would often go silent and not. You didn't have to have dialogue. You would just see the action with this beautiful score, and that was Michael Giacchino. Well, now we have, and I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. God bless me. Ramin Djawadi is, I think, how you pronounce his name, if I'm saying it right. And he has done the score since the very beginning. A couple seasons ago, what they told him is no flutes. Even though this seems like the Middle Ages, do not put a fucking flute in that score. It's too on the nose.
Okay.
We don't want to go there. And one of the things that he took out of the scoring was a piano. So there's a very disturbing episode in like season 6, I think, where you know something's wrong because there's a tinkle of a piano. And you've gone all these episodes without ever hearing a piano in this lush score. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, there's a piano.
Yeah.
So in the Night King episode from a few episodes ago, I think it was called, whatever that episode was called, where they had the war with the Night King, there was a scene where all of a sudden it went quiet and you got two characters kind of deciding in a fight or die moment, we're going to fight. Like, we're just going to do it. And she pulls out a knife, and and I call it the greatest musical cue in television history because I sat there and was like, oh, a piano, what's going to happen? And it
Hannibal
was
the
just
cat.
beautiful. It is the most beautiful piece of music.
Yeah.
And then it plays for the entire fight. From the minute the last people that were supposed to be just refugees and not fighting, from the minute she takes the knife out of her coat, holds his hand crying, and just goes. And then they get up, but then you don't see them get up. It cuts right to another character going into fight. So it's all this beautiful editing with this gorgeous song. And the song became available. It's called The Night King. And you can buy it. It's 8 minutes and 51 seconds.
Okay.
So last night I went, and I was just watching some stuff to see, like, check for consistency, and did we play by the rules? You know what I mean? Did they cheat anything? Is there anything that didn't really follow through? So then I wanted to see, like, do I own the actual 8 minutes and 51 seconds of score? So as soon as the piano hit on there, I hit my thing. I hit my iPad.
Hi, Nero.
And I had it play along, and it is just the
Wow.
most beautiful piece of scoring. There is no dialogue. There's people like, ah, like yelling and screaming because they're fighting for their lives, and there's fire coming at you, and like people fighting, and this gorgeous piece of music, and you could just feel every change in the plot without dialogue, just based on the strings coming in, and like,
Oh, that's awesome.
when the tension builds, and I'm like, it's just genius. Like this, like they spent the money on really strange places.
And which season was that?
This was it was like episode 3 of this season.
Oh, okay. So
And
not the
then-
whole season was a child's drawing.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, there's because I mean HBO spent the budget of like they spent over $100 million on 6 episodes of television, like an absurd amount of money.
Sure.
And like I used to say about Lost, you can find every dollar they're spending.
Okay.
Because when you watch it on high def TV, you're like, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But that piece of music, and I have it on here, and I play it on my way to
Yes.
work now
Yes,
every
Nero.
single night. I just listen to that one song because it's
Does
just
your drive get like challenging and you
no,
get
because
excited
it's
as you
just
drive?
haunting, and it just slowly builds. But you can just hear that when the strings come in, and you're like, oh, I know what's happening here, and you can just hear the part where like, when I was watching it and that piano started, I was like,
Did you read that?
Thank God I didn't type anything.
I know.
oh, sorry.
We're not allowed to.
So don't listen back if
All
you
right.
haven't
Don't
listened
listen
to
back. 'Cause
anything.
I already ruined it.
Don't
but-
rewind. Don't rewind it.
don't
No more
rewind.
spoilers.
I
But
can tell you a little thing about Game of Thrones without it being a spoiler. Did you know that China didn't get to see it at all?
No.
Because China cut it off because of
Why?
the trade fight that's going on.
That is
China's
some
like,
low
you want to
shit.
see it? Fucking drop the.
Oh, China's going to war.
Yeah, so
They really
billions
did go
of
to war.
people
Wow.
didn't get to see it because what happened? I guess they started to roll the opening scene of it and then cut it out.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry, because of the
That's really
the trade
mean.
sanctions and all.
Wow.
What are
Yeah,
sanctions?
yeah, yeah.
The what's the word? I
Tariffs.
want? Tariffs.
Tariffs,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're not going to see it.
So, and the funny thing is as we've gone along for all these seasons, and we started off with like hundreds and hundreds of characters. Well, over the course of the season, they killed everybody off. So there really are only 20 people, and
Sock
they're
puppets
scattered
and
all
a
over.
stick figure.
Yeah, they're scattered all over the world. So you want dialogue sometimes, but you're like, well, who would she talk to? And I kept saying that. I'm like, well, you should go in and have that scene. Are you going into a room where a dragon's having a temper tantrum?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be over
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna go over this.
Yeah, I
way.
know he wants
Yeah.
dialogue, but that
Yeah.
seems
I don't-
dangerous.
Yeah.
That seems like a roller coaster on a cruise ship in there. I'm going to go this way.
Good way
But
to bring
there
that back. I appreciate
really
that.
is
Yeah,
a
there you
funny
go.
point where you want two characters to talk. You're like, oh, no, they don't have phones, and he's like 1,000 miles away in the other direction. So you're left with a lot of this
And then
this
sadly-
players that are
people.
having to do
Yeah.
stuff because
Then sadly, in one scene, a phone pops up.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
it was
then
Mobile
a phone.
phones.
So it was a coffee cup. It was a Starbucks cup, which
And
was
then a-
hysterical.
Starbucks
And a water bottle.
And then a water
They're trying to
bottle.
say it wasn't Starbucks because they don't want to pay for it, but that was clearly a Starbucks
Yeah.
cup.
Yep.
But the other one was a smart water bottle by the guy's
I
leg.
heard
Yeah.
something
When you,
about
you
that.
remember earlier, this is a callback to young people knowing social media, the way that they said they praised HBO for how they handled the coffee cup. They said it was very deft. Instead of having a big reaction about, oh my God.
They just took it out.
You know what they said? Is it how do you say her name?
Daenerys.
They said, well, we apologize for the mistake. Daenerys didn't order a latte. She ordered herbal tea.
Yeah. And then the
That
best
was the
part
tweet on Twitter. They're
That's-
like, it was a
that's
mistake.
good.
She ordered herbal tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And then
Happy
the
to see
best
her.
part was like a breaker of chains, mother of dragons, the unburned, the ruler of somebody did it like you would actually write that on your Starbucks cup.
Right.
You know how they write your name? So they had
Colbert. Colbert had the barista reading the cup and
Yeah.
he just kept turning it,
Yeah,
and turning it, and turning it, and turning it. And then the dragon roars and he goes, "Is that a service dragon? It's not allowed in here."
that was the absolute best
That was
because her
funny.
name just got ridiculous
Right.
by the
Laura-
end.
Laura-
But then you think about the Starbucks cup where someone had to write all that shit. That was funny.
funny.
That was funny. And then the show that I complain about but secretly just enjoy the poop out of, The Big Bang Theory, came to an end.
Oh, I'm sure my mom watched.
A show with absolutely no character development whatsoever.
They didn't need to.
They still don't have a table. Penny is still playing the girl. Kaylee Cuoco, the
Yeah.
luckiest woman in
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
She's had 17 years on network shows and has never once had a minute of character development. Like she has
And was the
never once
highest paid
had to
woman.
reach
The highest paid woman on network
a
television.
network television.
her residuals will last
Yeah.
forever.
She'll
And
never
she is
work
still
again.
playing the same one note she was playing
Yeah.
in the beginning of the show. But it's such a tender note, and it always
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
She's always charming, and you can just tune into that show for a giggle and then walk away. You don't
Yeah.
need it.
Oh,
I broke my computer trying to catch up on reruns, and I downloaded a whole season from Japanese TV and crashed my computer.
Oh
and
my God, that's right.
Everybody thinks I got porn, and I
I was
really
thinking
did
that was,
watch the
how-
show that's on TV 17 times a day. I needed to see it in the correct order to find out if there was some
that
character
was
development.
Big Bang Theory.
There wasn't. Yeah.
I was thinking that was
I did
How
watch
I Met Your Mother.
I watched How I Met Your Mother the one year I was sick, and
Yeah.
then the next year I caught
Was
up
that
on
one?
Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Because I was so sad.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
the Big Bang
every
Theory,
time,
and
that's
there was a
funny.
tiny bit of growth from Sheldon at the end, and it was whatever her Amy Farrah Fowler from Beaches. What's that girl's name? Mayim
Mian Bialik.
Yeah.
Making all the right
Blossom.
noises.
Blossom.
Yeah.
Blossom, right? Me and Bialik.
Engelbert Humperdinck, that one. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Tony Fields.
Somebody.
Cat somewhere just screaming out the name Mayim Bialik. No, it's
Yeah.
not getting any better.
Bialik.
So, anyways, she had a great speech about girls in science, and it was very really, really, very well done with the girls in science. And then Sheldon hit his growth, and it was one more time where I was sitting there laughing and crying. I'm like, this show is about nothing. They don't do anything. And 279 episodes later, one of them that cost me a computer, I'm like. We've gone nowhere, but it was delightful, and it was absolutely.
Don't tell CBS that. They think it went everywhere.
Yeah.
Of course it did, but it's one of those things where the lowest common denominator. There's not one bit of character development except for the Indian guy finally learned to talk to women, but is still single and gave up his parents' money and still
right.
ended up sitting next to Buffy the Vampire Slayer because that was an old joke from years ago. Like no one grew, no one learned anything. But it was charming and fun, and it's a show that I constantly bitch about for like the worst example of someone just playing the girl in the history of people playing the girl, and they all seem to be fine with it. And even I get a giggle out of it every single time that they make jokes about her drinking. I'm like, she should be cirrhotic by this point. Like the girl should be almost dead. But it was perfectly charming. I laughed, I cried, I had all the feels, and I was like, what the fuck? And Grumpy Cat died.
Yeah,
I was Grumpy Cat only 7. I feel like I've been
I know.
suffering for that bullshit for like 15 years.
Yeah, that's true. So, little Grumpy Cat, local celebrity, if you will, because he
From
lived right here in
Arizona.
I can't believe he was
Phoenix
local
area.
too.
And tiny,
Phoenix area, and then this was my wallpaper or my
which
cover
I
photo.
stole it. I loved it.
So this is
I love that.
hate it.
I hate
Hate
it.
it, yeah.
I love that, Clayton.
You're welcome. You can use it anytime.
I shared it.
So I will
was it-
recommend
Touching.
both of those shows, the
Yeah.
Game of Thrones
Okay.
and the Big Bang Theory, for opposite moods. But if you can't sleep, it's a good story. It's kind of, they never get better with women on that show either. It turns into girl power, but because they stop writing for any character because there's no one for them to talk to, they stop writing for
As
everybody.
everyone's dead.
So luckily, just because the women aren't getting any lines, you realize, well, the men aren't talking either. Like, nope, I don't think anybody talked for the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Because there was just no one to have
to have conversation with.
because
Lots
they
of
killed
good
everybody.
musical interludes.
Yeah, but I mean, and seriously, like any show has its peak. Game of Thrones season 5 is one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen.
See,
When the
I'm
books,
just not into any of the.
I'm not either.
no, I'm not either. It's not.
Yeah.
It's I hated Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I don't like
Like-
Star Wars. I
right.
don't
See,
care
and
for
I don't
Star
mind
Trek.
Star Wars. I think just because of growing up and that was there,
Yeah.
but just
I still don't care.
no,
Oh my God, Joe saw the Grumpy Cat movie. What is wrong with you? What was that other dumbass fucking movie he saw? Like he went and saw like the Emoji movie or something, and he was like, it was
my
bad.
God.
Well, of course it was bad. Saw the Emoji movie. It was one of those. But anyways, so like Dexter has season 4, which is one of the greatest.
And I heard that was like one of the worst endings ever.
It's another one that the final moment I could see your argument, but up to that they played with the rules. Like
How
they,
I Met Your Mother.
I love that show. I love
No,
that
I
ending.
know, but I'm
I
saying
know.
that's what
and I had an
that's
argument
what
about,
I keep seeing.
I had an
is-
argument with this about this with a friend of mine, and he goes, "Stop arguing. I was just mad that it ended at all."
Right.
He's like, "I
Right.
was just mad that they put an end on such a charming show where everyone grew. They had so much growth. That show has
It's
so
like what he
much
was talking
art."
about. There's counselors though. You can maybe get a
Oh,
counselor.
you're
to
just
help.
sad
Yeah.
because something that's that
They'll
well
just
written,
slap you
like
in
How
the
I Met
face.
Your Mother, it's
Oh,
so well written.
MASH. When they took MASH off,
Yeah.
I remember like my mom, my dad, and me were like,
And they had 15 years to grow over
Yeah.
too. They had plenty of time.
yeah.
But
I
whatever-
recorded that last episode on a reel-to-reel
Oh my god.
because
Wow.
because who knew what technology was coming at us. I recorded it on a reel-to-reel the last episode of MASH. And again, every time I see it on, it's like Golden Girls. Just put it on.
Yeah.
Just be in the background. MASH to be in the background.
course, right.
And I still swear I see episodes I have never
Never
seen.
seen.
And I'm like, how at 50 years old have I not seen
That's
all of
another
them?
show that came. I don't know what show the Big Bang Theory beat.
Cheers.
To be, was it Cheers? So MASH can't be far behind because
Okay.
MASH did 11 or 12 seasons too.
I think they did 11.
So I mean, they're all in that realm of. No, I think they did 12.
I thought 11 because I thought
But I wouldn't bet on that at all. But I know that
We're gonna find
Frasier
out.
stopped at 11. Frasier didn't make it to Cheers number. So there's only a handful that are in that realm.
And they're all like 1 year apart.
But if you want to watch a show in its entirety, enjoy a lot of character development and a lot of great
How I
writing.
Met
How
Your
I Met
Mother.
Your Mother handles a lot of really grown up
Yeah, they do.
adult things.
But it's funny and
yeah,
it-
and
yeah.
you get genuinely funny, genuine friendships.
Yeah.
It-
11 seasons, 256 episodes. MASH.
oh, okay, and I think Big Bang was 279 or something like that. And then Dead to Me. I thought we talked about Dead to Me last year. Have we not talked about Dead to Me?
You mean last week?
Last week.
Yes,
Right,
we
right,
did.
right.
Did we miss
Yes.
Dead to Me?
It was
So
we talked about
you
it
talked
briefly,
about it
but we didn't
briefly.
go through it all.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
fantastic!
recall going through it all.
Great.
Mom's watching it.
Oh.
Mama
Watch
dies.
Dead to Me. I'm trying to keep up the board. Dead to Me, phenomenal twist after twist after twist. I have not been completely surprised by a TV show in a long time, and I did not understand from the trailer what I was watching.
Yeah,
and
I
then
love
every
her.
episode I was like, what? Oh, she's a national treasure.
Yeah, I love her. I'm so glad.
She
this is
that fact
it
that
for her.
and they let her dance. They show off her dancing, which I think that's what we talked about last week. Is the episode where
Right.
they let her dance?
Right.
Okay,
but that-
Veep.
Oh, and then Veep ended.
I watched the last episode. I had to watch it again. I watched it a second time.
Oh, you have
'cause
to
it
watch
was
all, though, yeah.
So good. I just loved it.
I'm not sure when I'm going to make.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be appointment television for me
I
because
just-
I'm going to
you
binge it
have
at
And,
some
to
and
point
watch
I
it.
haven't
and just
watched
sit-
all of them, so not that you want to.
Once you're hooked, you won't
me,
stop.
But if
Yeah.
you do, like, and we could totally just plan like a date, get pizza, and fucking just have a couple cocktails and watch that shit. I would love
And
it.
I feel like
I'm gonna have to because I feel like if I don't,
same
I'm
way.
never in my life gonna just find a time to do it. If I
No,
don't, just
just
make
do
an
it.
appointment,
Yeah.
Right.
sit down.
and
I think I watched,
especially
like,
as
the
much
first
as you like
two.
politics now.
Yes.
Oh gosh,
This
it
show
is.
will ring every bell for you.
Totally.
Like,
Right. Right. And that's
and Trump ruined it. It turned it from
Right,
into
right.
satire to a
Right,
documentary.
'cause now it's just it's real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it,
Yeah.
it honestly is.
They talked about that on once again. Stephen Colbert had the cast on. It was so good last week, I guess.
Yeah, it
so
was.
If you, did you?
I have it-
did you
I've got it
oh,
recorded.
So good. Go find that. 'Cause
Yeah, no, I did
You
watch
like the
that.
show. So good. Okay, good. So one thing I was going to bring up is we talked about what a horrible person Selena is, and he asked about that. You know, we talked about how they don't redeem her, and I thought it was very telling when Julia Louis-Dreyfus said, she said, "Yeah, but you know, when I still played her from the inside out, like you could tell she was like I had to humanize her a little bit,
but yeah.
you know, or because Selena's just a horrible lead character on the show." But I thought that was
Played
interesting that she-
brilliantly by Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
and it is. But
Oh
she
my
said, you know,
God.
she had to find. She said, all actresses. I heard this years ago. When they play villains, they always try to humanize them. That's their ego. And she said, there's a lot of reasons why she's the way she is. And so,
Oh, and
which
they
I
bring
thought
up
was
her
really good.
And they bring up her
Right.
mother, and then
Yes.
she turns into her mother,
And
and
the
then
daughter-
when Catherine turns into her mother is just fantastic.
So my favorite moment of the show. This is
there's
the
no,
only.
I love it, Annette. There's no spoiler alert.
No, we're
she's a
not
horrible person.
She's a
from
horrible
beginning
person.
to end.
I'm not gonna.
Oh wait.
Oh, he's teasing.
Oh, for Nero.
So the whole thing was wonderful. And I won't spoiler alert this piece, but the one moment that I thought showed that you're really watching a brilliant TV show was when she's sitting in the Oval Office. That scene.
Yeah,
And it's very quiet, and there's that moment of realization that
there's no one to talk to.
and she got
Yeah,
without
Yeah.
by doing every horrible thing in the world.
Right.
And that when you finally get there, the knife in the heart is that you're alone.
yeah. There's
You
no one.
don't-
Yeah,
there's no
it's
one.
lonely at the top.
And this is what I thought was so brilliant is instead of holding that longer, which would have really humanized whatever, the phone rings. It's the Israeli prime minister, and she's like, "How can the United States help you?"
Yeah.
And it's like, so yes, she is having that moment, but she's not going to have it too long.
No.
And she goes right back in. And that was when I was like, "I'm done." That is the greatest moment of that series. It was perfect. And then that we won't spoil it, but that they did something so funny for the remaining because the next minute is just the
Your
credit thing,
denouement. Yeah.
which was hysterical with the man can't get it in the vagina. The vagina look. I'm sorry, you guys haven't seen it. but
You're just never going to be ready for that
oh
show.
my god!
Oh,
so
no,
I just loved it, and I thought everyone on it was great. I love Timothy Simons.
Yeah.
Just was my favorite person on that show, who played. It's a difficult character to play well, the Jonah character. He
So
did
just
a
on a side note
fantastic
of
job.
trying to humanize characters and play from the inside, because I've watched the behind the scenes of Silence of the Lambs so many times. One of the reasons Jonathan Demme wouldn't hire an American actor, he didn't want a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want somebody that would go in and try to make Hannibal Lecter human.
Right.
Oh right.
He specifically wanted him to play him as a blank-faced sociopath.
Sure.
No back history. If there's no back history written, you don't know what it is. You're just here to kill
I
and
can't
eat.
portray something.
And so
Yeah,
that was one of
yeah.
the interesting things because it was supposed to be Gene Hackman the first time around because Gene Hackman owned the rights first.
That's right.
So he was supposed to direct it
Oh
and
my
be
God, I
Hannibal
can't
Lecter.
even.
But
Yeah.
And then they thought about Robert De Niro and he was like, no method acting because they're going to try to humanize him.
Sure.
I have a humanizing story
So that's
too.
what I thought of when
Yes.
she said that.
So,
I was like,
yes. So is it Patty Chayefsky that directed Network? Who directed Network?
yeah, Network.
I think he wrote
No,
it.
he
Did
wrote
direct
Network.
it? Who
Sidney
directed
Lumet.
it? Okay, Sidney Lumet. I saw in a
There's no reason why I should know that.
in a documentary about Network with Faye Dunaway playing that character that was originally written for a man, I believe. The
Yes, and not changed at all.
ruthless reporter. And he said when they were shooting, he said, do not try to humanize her.
Yep.
He said, because all actresses do that because they're vain when they play a
But so
villain.
do actors.
And he said, well, yeah, but he
Yeah.
he was being sexist at the time.
Yep,
He
yeah.
said, all actresses do this, or maybe he was only speaking about actresses. He said, and if you try, I'll cut it out. I'll edit you out. And
Yep.
she said, oh, I won't even try. I'll just be a horrible
I saw
person.
that documentary, and that's
Yeah.
another.
Yeah,
That's
I love that.
another
I
time
always
with
remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No internal,
Yeah,
no
no
internal
internal-
dialogue. You have no inner thoughts. You are
right.
just
A horrible
here to make
person.
money. And not that you're horrible, but
Yeah.
your goal is to have a popular nighttime news channel.
Right.
That's it. You have no other
Right.
backstory.
Right.
It is ratings.
It doesn't go any deeper than
Yeah,
that.
and it was because it was written for a man, and they
Yeah.
didn't think a woman could play it like
Yeah,
would
Grandma
play
Cat
it
was
that
from Arizona.
ruthlessly.
And
And
she
Faye
did.
Dunaway was like, "Hold my purse." I'll be
And
a-
I love her in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, that in Chinatown, like
When
she's
she just
amazing.
gets all excited.
So I have. We can. I
just
the
have
wheel,
one
or I
thing.
have a thoughtful
I have one
vulgarity.
We don't
thing.
have a wheel.
Okay.
Cat's not here.
Okay.
I just have one thing for entertainment.
Yep.
And it's something that'll give you the fucking hives.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
well, you-
Oh, Wilson
forgive
Phillips
my-
is gonna do what?
Forgive my smile. No, a movie theater allows people to bring their dogs,
What about the one
but they offer bottomless wine.
That's a fair
Oh,
trade.
well, that's I could get on board with that.
offers a full fucking bed.
Yeah.
What a mistake is that?
Yes, seriously.
Oh, but you know
Also-
how many people that shuts up in a movie theater?
No, a lot.
Because
yeah.
those big recliners, the
Yeah.
lady that was annoying me
Yes,
through the
yeah.
credits, she was passed out
Out.
cold through the movie. Never heard from
Yeah.
her again.
I like that bottomless wine idea.
I know. So few things in life compare to snuggling up with your four-legged friend while watching a movie or TV show for some people.
Yeah.
Now, moviegoers in the Longhorn State can get that same experience at an actual movie theater. In Plano, Texas, it's a dog-friendly theater that allows customers to watch older films with up to 2 of their fur babies.
If they're quiet, that's fine.
Right? We have a big heart for the furry family members in our lives and believe they should get a night out with you. Not to mention the theater also offers bottomless wine with the purchase of a $15 adult ticket.
They'd lose
Sold.
money on me.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just gonna say, hold my purse.
Right. So
I can
and
drink $15 of wine.
here's this.
No shit.
I brought a dog with me.
I don't
His
care
name
what
is
dog
Tom.
you fucking brought with
Somebody
you.
watches fucking dog.
Here's a leash. Visitors under 21
Walk it if
can
you got it. I
enjoy-
don't care.
Just keep pouring the wine. Dog owners must follow a few rules like cleaning up after their pets and providing valid paperwork to prove that the dogs are up to date on their shots. I wish that we could do the same for some people's dates.
Right, exactly.
The theater, which opened in 2018, doesn't show any newly released films, but it does host themed event nights. Visitors can look forward to Bring Your Dog to Church night on Tuesdays. What? And karaoke margarita night on Wednesdays, which is when I would attend. Eric Langford founded K9 Cinemas after leaving the pharmaceutical industry, where he probably made a fuck ton of money, and that's why he hands out wine. I wanted to do something that made me happy for once instead of just chasing money. The theater is currently transitioning to a members-only facility, open Monday through Saturday, which I think is smart. The
That's fun.
members only,
Sure.
but kind of fun.
That
Like
serves a
bring-
niche market.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. I can.
Do they
see,
hand out vacuum cleaners? That is so funny.
That's great.
Just lint rollers.
No,
Yeah.
I think Grumpy Cat was a female.
It was
a
a
girl kitty.
Was it?
I think so.
I
think
didn't
so.
look. No way to know.
Joe will know.
I'm going to look it up. Yeah, Joe would know.
Oh,
It
do
was
you know
in
if
the
Grumpy
movie.
Kitty was a male or a female?
I think it was
Or
female.
transitioning?
I think it was a female.
Do you want to know the part that'll
Did you
make
say
everybody?
transitioning?
Tartar sauce was the actual
Yeah,
name of the
Jesus
yeah.
cat.
Do you know
Christ,
that the
tartar
family
sauce.
and the owner made $64 million off of
Isn't
the
that
licensing
crazy, though?
rights? I
Right.
know.
Well, I mean,
No.
God bless you. If you can make money off of pussy,
Absolutely.
But $64 million,
Do it.
that's some
that's some
great
fine pussy. that's some
Which
great
you
A
did not
pussy.
think you were going to hear Al and Doug say tonight.
Her
on the
family,
show with
so
Clayton
it was
McKee.
a girl. Yep, it was a girl.
High grade pussy.
Great A pussy. Octane.
Oh.
Her name was Tartar Sauce. Fuck me running.
Hey, Tartar.
Yeah.
Yeah, your TT.
$64 million whore.
What? Let me spank that. Stop it, Marnie.
I guess,
Shut
yeah,
up.
I was just gonna say. I guess the loving tribute to the
Okay.
cat ended.
Well, that went away real fast. Whatever.
Is tartar a girl's
Oh
name?
my god.
No, we all get tartar on our teeth. I ain't sure how they got that. So I have a thoughtful vulgarity question.
Go ahead. I'm going to share a picture that Aaron Harvey from Aaron from LA
Yes.
posted on
Happy
his
birthday.
Facebook. I'm going to share it in a minute. Go ahead. Do whatever you got to do. Go,
Oh,
no.
we're not gonna play the song?
Oh, you want to play the song? God, we haven't played
You're
it forever.
very
Now she wants the
busy.
I
song.
know.
You're busy.
Damn, she's got lots to do. Very busy.
Something.
busy.
Where is it? Where is it? It's
I
down
love
here
how
in the-
we're spelling it tartar.
Yeah.
I love when autocorrect just fucks with you.
Yeah.
Because I
right?
say ducker all the time. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mother Ducker.
Mother ducker.
Here we go. Let's do this.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Okay. Joe, $64 adoption fee, profit $64 million.
Priceless.
Yeah.
that is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that really is. Yep.
And Jenny says, of course, all cats are female to
Oh
me.
my
In fact,
God. She found out her cat's male.
That's a penis. Your grade A pussy got some penis. That sounds really wrong. That went
Wow,
off the
that
rails.
would, yeah, we'd like to apologize.
Can you edit that one out? or-
No,
Ships
no.
at sea, that went sideways.
Gonna let it go.
Okay, so we were thinking about we were talking about like different ages and stuff today because it was a birthday party. So as far as like aging chronologically goes, which I'm very fond of, you should do things in the right order. Is there some like era of like your like you can't miss the 40s, like we're not going
Sure,
back there.
sure.
But was there some era that everybody else was doing that you were not part of that you kind of regret went by without you?
I was drunk most of my 30s.
So was everybody else.
So
yeah,
I
was.
kind of missed all of that.
I liked my 30s, though.
What I remember, I thought they were pretty good.
Like, was everybody doing some one thing that you just like missed out on?
Yeah, I would say the late teens, early 20s. Everybody went away to school.
Oh, okay.
Everybody went away to college and did the dorm thing, or like had a house with a bunch of the girls and did different things, and I did not. And so that was
That's a good one. I didn't think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
That always kind of bugged me. I actually picked up and it's funny. 18. I picked up and I moved to Schaumburg, Illinois, for 3 months to go to a community college so that I would try to get that experience. And that was a horrible move, well, scholastically anyway. But I mean, I had
I'm here to counsel you through any scholastic mistakes because I made a lot of them.
Yeah, but it was. I'm glad that I did it, but it was just one of those where just trying to almost make something happen that just
Right.
wasn't in the
You
cards.
turned into campus ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it wasn't in the cards.
Okay,
It was.
I got that,
was-
and I think Doug got
Another
that.
great show.
Yeah.
I don't know if Marnie got Campus Ladies.
Okay,
No.
I'll load
Oh.
you the DVDs. You'll die.
God.
Oh, no,
You'll
huh?
literally die.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, no,
Two,
no,
so
no.
show
two
is-
40-year-old women go back to college and
Okay.
just do
Because
not
their and
understand.
their daughters are
And
there.
in the dorms,
Okay.
they live in the dorms.
Yeah.
All the kids.
Oh no.
Oh dear God.
The first,
That'd be
second
funny.
episode
Okay.
when the girl in the dorm with her, and she looks at her and she goes, "But you can't come here. You're a lady."
The joke you keep making.
funny.
Did somebody tell you couldn't? Well, maybe you could put a strap on it or something.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Okay,
Sean
okay.
Hayes.
Helmet.
Sean Hayes plays a character
that's
that's
so
special,
funny.
and one of the ladies is dating him, but doesn't realize he's
She
special.
doesn't know.
'Cause
She's
she's
like,
a
yes,
little-
he is. He might be the one. He is special.
Oh boy.
And then they
Oh
walk
my
in somewhere and somebody
God.
says, she says, well, I can do anything I want. And the guy goes, well, did somebody tell you couldn't?
You could go
do
jet
anything.
skiing
But
or anything with a
on?
strap
No.
or a helmet.
Oh my God. It's a hilarious
Is
series.
that newer?
Oh, God,
older?
no.
No.
It's like
okay.
14 years old now.
Okay.
Campus
I was gonna say,
ladies.
no.
Oh, there's a whole episode where they're trying to do some sort of a grooming shave.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
It's wrong on 170
I
different
do.
levels.
Fucking
Then-
funny.
Then I appreciate it.
Campus
I
ladies.
appreciate that.
But that's
I
what
like
it
that.
turns into when you go back later and you want that experience. But no, you're older now.
Right.
Well, and it's also because didn't they both were victims of
divorced or-
divorce,
yeah.
right?
One was widowed, one was
Divorce.
divorced.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what sends them back to college.
Got it.
Oh,
Got it.
God damn.
That's funny.
So fucking funny.
That's funny.
And they're not like they're just trying to do it their way.
Yeah.
Like they think they're
Oblivious.
doing it right, and everyone
And
else is just horrified.
when she tries to make money from a camera, she puts a camera in the dorm room because the guy starts paying her, and she's trying
Yeah.
to entice her friend to do things on camera.
But
like
she wants to
she's
do a breast
ironing.
self-exam.
Oh.
She needs to get a mastectomy.
Okay.
So she wants to pay for it, and she gets her friend to do self-exams in front of the camera. It's so wrong.
It's just wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong.
Oh, no.
But it's
And Nan's
hilarious.
just saying he found out that everybody was hanging around and humping and partying, and he didn't get that. And Nero missed out on freedom.
Now being in a serious relationship.
And not even a good one. That's all of us in our 20s. We were all in that
God.
relationship. Everybody was in that relationship with you. Oh, this is a shitty relationship. Wait.
Oh, damn it, my 20s are gone.
We're all my friends.
God damn it.
Well, I think
And
we
you know,
just summed up our 20s.
In all sincerity,
Good night,
though,
everybody.
I don't know.
See you next
Thank you,
Tuesday.
and good night. How Nero says that now I should know better. Well, I think that it doesn't matter what age you're in.
You still
That
get lured
you
in.
Lured
Yeah.
in, and then after you're like, damn it, how did that son of a bitch?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I mean,
again?
I've avoided it for 20 years
Yeah.
now, but
Right.
at someday
Yeah.
it's gonna come around a
Can
corner.
I have 1991 back,
Yeah,
please?
right.
What do I see about a refund?
I need to speak to someone.
Who's in charge here?
Yeah, right.
in my contract.
It's at 1991.
Right. Yeah.
We're supposed to be way better than
Better.
this.
It turned
and
out
this
to be
turd,
a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This human turd.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And Anand's now imagining dorm room orgies. All right, hands
Yeah.
where
And
we
then-
can see them, Anand.
Yeah, just keep your hands where we can see them.
And there's a video of that. You don't need to
Yeah,
wonder.
there's a porno
Oh,
about that. And that's
yeah.
all.
And at the end, they actually fix the dryer.
Yeah. Funny story.
Oddly, if you watch the porn
Yeah.
all
And
the
they
way
eat
through,
the pizza.
yeah, they
The
do.
printer is still a bit of a question.
Well, it got broken.
It happens. It happens.
You just you
about
scan
you,
me a
ladies,
picture of
sir?
your
Well,
income.
inspired by our 20s theme and
Yeah.
your example, I would say just doing my 20s kind of backwards. So I went to college for like 3 semesters, dropped out, and because I just wasn't ready to do it. So I did like the whole party, fun, young thing, and then
Is that when you
went
met
back.
me?
Was
Yeah,
that in
I
a
don't
Chinese
know.
restaurant?
I think I met
Fun
you
young
later. And then
Some young guy hung solo.
I went back to college in my late 20s, so I had sort of like the delayed
Yeah.
age range, so didn't get my bachelor's degree until like 27 or 28. So I just felt like my 20s were just kind of a jumble and kind of back, I don't know. And it wasn't until my 30s that I was like, oh, okay, now I'm still like young enough to do fun things, but not as stupid as I was in my 20s.
Right.
And so that was kind of cool. Just so I get just in that 20s theme, my 20s were just kind of jumbled.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I would have had, I was just thinking about this the other day, so it's ironic you would make this the thoughtful vulgarity question. I should have just stayed in school and just finished,
Sure.
but I didn't.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
looking
I was
back
on the
on
right.
it, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
went to 5 colleges or 6 colleges
Yeah.
in 5 years or something.
yeah. I
like,
went to like 6 colleges
semester
in
here.
19
No, I
years
know,
and
but, like,
finally
6
finished something.
where you're just
Yeah.
like, now I need to go back because somebody said so. Now I need to go to this because my family, like they were
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
educators. They were all
Right,
involved
or
in
me too.
either nursing or education, and I felt like that's what I had to do.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
yeah, I didn't
Well,
want to do
this
it.
is not working out very well. So at
Yeah.
24, I finally, when I moved here and felt settled, I was truly going past Gateway Community College.
I just
And I
yeah,
just pulled into the parking
Ow.
lot.
Wow.
That was it.
Oh, wow.
And then that's how I started going to school. But
Yeah.
you just don't, but it wasn't, nobody was telling me I had to.
Yeah, yeah. I went back on my own because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
And somebody-
Which is
huge
better.
difference.
Somebody kind of shamed me in my car. I was like, haven't you wanted to go to school? I'm like, fuck you. And then I pulled in. I was like, all right, I guess
I'll go.
Guess I'm going back to school.
Fine. I'll become the best
Clayton.
nurse ever.
I think my story would be similar to what Doug said. But I don't. I think you posed the question in regards to: do you regret or did you miss out on something?
No, like what era kind of happened that you just it went by without you? You were doing something else. You weren't in that lane.
Well, I don't know that it went by without me. I think I just did similar to what you said. You did yours backwards, and I
Yep.
think that's kind of what happened to me. I got out of high school. Mom moved to Phoenix. I stayed in Missouri because I just started in radio, and and I would never ever. The 5 years I stayed there that I got to spend with her parents was one of the best 5-year segments of my life, and I'll never ever regret those memories. But what it did to me, conversely, was I didn't come out till later, and I when I met you guys,
that's interesting.
I was all in my mid-20s and beyond into my 30s is when I was doing partying that I probably should have done in my late teens, early 20s. So I made some.
You were a little long in the tooth for your whore face.
No, not even that. I made because of
Wow.
where I was with partying. I made decisions that I shouldn't have made.
Yeah.
For example, I've said it before on the show. If I would have been in a different position or mindset, I probably would have stayed with Train Air Conditioning rather than leaving them when I did, because I was in my phrase of I'm going to do what I want to do, because whatever I was, independent woman, whatever I was going to do.
Right.
And then I look back now and I think, my God,
Strong.
I left him in '99.
Yeah.
I could. This would be what, my 20-year.
Right. You'd be
Right.
running
With them,
it.
right? I'd be my
Yeah.
whole world would be in a whole
Right.
different setup because of that. But
Yeah.
I was going to be the artist, the performer. I was going to do it my way. I was going to mow lawn. You do all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So it was just because of, rather than sowing those oats earlier in the teens, because I was.
My whole lecture series on living your life chronologically. You got to do it in the right order.
And some of it was, again, no fault of anybody really. The way that the setup was with Mom and how our living situation was and what I needed to take care of as the oldest person, the oldest man in the house with lawns or house, whatever it was. Our situation was just different, and I took more
You're
of
an
that
ass.
lead role. Huh?
This one, he's just an ass. Go on.
But that's what I did. I
You'll
kind
catch it on the replay.
I stepped up. If I ever listen, I stepped up and I took care of things because I felt like that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So you did do it
So
right.
I did do it that, and then it worked out, and it's all fine, and nobody died.
Right. But
So
I think that's the interesting piece about a question like that, right? With
Yeah.
that hindsight, where
Doesn't mean you
we
did
all-
anything wrong,
it
but
doesn't
like
mean
an
anything
era just kind of passed by.
Right. And like with Nero says, because of my ADD, I haven't been able to get a college degree. I never will. Not sure if I should feel missed out. That she wonders about that almost every
check
day.
your milligrams
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
need. If you get on the stuff that Marty's,
I'm telling you.
that might help.
You know, Nero,
Might
if you're
help.
wondering about it almost every day,
Stratera,
though, you might
Stratera.
want to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other piece that I was going to throw out, which is completely opposite. Nobody fucking cares. You don't have to have that degree.
No.
And
Right.
there are so many that I shouldn't say nobody fucking cares. If you care, then it's a choice
Yeah,
you're making, and
right.
that's
Yeah.
fine. But I have so many friends now that will make comments about, because I know a whole lot
What
of people
do
that don't
you
have a
do
degree.
with a
Right,
BA
exactly.
in English?
I know a lot of people that have degrees that are really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh
Right?
my God.
I mean, but think there's something else. And
Or they may only know that one vein of
Right.
thing, and
Right.
that's
They
the
know
only-
a lot
if you
about one area.
If you
Right.
deviate off of that topic, they're fucking lost.
Yeah.
exactly, and yet they'll try to spout off on
Yeah, but
something.
I have a
and-
degree.
Yeah,
Mm.
I have this degree.
Oh, if
Can you
Oh,
make a
shut
pink
the
squirrel?
fuck up.
No.
Right. But that's
That's
what
as bad as do you know who I am? If someone tells
Right.
you about their degree,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
Smack
bam.
up.
Yeah.
But that's all that I want to kind of throw out there for Nero, because I do. Not that she's perseverating on it or
No,
anything.
and the other thing about it is there's so many different ways to go to college now. And I remember,
Yeah.
when I went back to school the last time,
Just the last one, dear.
yeah, someone in school with me was around my age, somewhere we were close in age, and he was saying, because it was a second degree for him, that the people that we were in school with that were younger were missing out on like dorms and and sororities and all the stuff he got with his first degree. And I'm like, I know how to roll a joint and I know what my
Yeah.
social security number is, but I think that's freshman year of college, right?
Right.
I mean, I know I took classes, but all I can do is I can drive with one hand and roll a joint with the other and
Yeah.
tell you my social security number. You know what I mean? Like it's a poem.
Right.
Wow, Nero,
499.
I don't know how anyone
88.
could think you're dumb because I
Oh,
think from
God,
engaging with you from this show that you strike me as extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's all measured in
and the
so many
thing is,
different ways.
It really is, and I understand the point about it opens up more possibilities.
Yeah.
Because
It does.
You know, we have even at the company that I work for, they have you know, when you have your list of qualifications and 4-year degree is a must, and I think
I teach a
God.
bunch of people that are doing that. I teach the upper division in the undergrad, so predominantly it's the young kids. But I have a whole cohort, and every single semester, and I love them. That are like 30. I have one.
Yeah.
He is a guard at the jail at
love it.
Maricopa. Or is the jail or the anyway? I think it's the jail. Maybe one might be at the prison. And I asked him. I love their honesty. I said, "Why? What do you think of that job?" And he said, "I don't like it. That's why I'm here."
Sure.
As they told him right to his face, "You're not getting promoted until you have a
Yes.
bachelor's degree. That's
That's
all
right.
he wants. He's not. It's a terminal degree. He's not going to go.
Yep.
He's not going to grad school. He's not going to law
No,
school. But that's
just
what our
let me
which
get
is
through
great.
whatever
I
needs
That's
to
our-
be
I'm now
done.
stealing that.
That's our
I have a
school.
terminal degree.
Yeah.
This is where this
No.
shit ends.
No, that's what it is. But and I like that. So and I got and I mean I could go on a million stories. I have a woman that she did hair for 19 years, and I just saw her. It was very touching. I just saw her at graduation, even though I had her last year, but I ran into her,
Right.
and
Because now she just comes back every year and relives it.
no.
Oh.
I had
She does the hair.
No,
No,
I had her
gotcha.
in class last year, but she graduated this year,
Yeah.
so I lost
Yeah.
touch with her. But
I got that after.
she had done hair for like 20 years. She's like in her early 40s, and she said, "I always wanted to work in criminal justice, and I just never did. So now I am." The end.
Yeah.
I was like, God
Right.
damn! I love
Right.
that. I love those kinds of people.
Absolutely.
And some are doing it because they can get promoted. Sometimes with the military people or in
Some
the
just wanna
police,
prove that they
they want to
can.
prove they can do it. Often it helps professionally, and some it just helps with their salary. And
Sure.
those are all great reasons to do it.
Right.
So I admire them for coming
I
back.
agree.
and-
I
and
totally agree.
Taking that on.
Right.
So
I totally agree. And I just and I know how difficult it is when you don't have that piece of paper or you don't
Right.
have that degree
Right.
and you hear other people
right.
that do saying, "Oh, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need this, you don't need that." And
I don't know about that.
it's not that you don't need to worry about it. It's
No.
just that it might make it more profitable in work and things might be better.
Yeah, it has advantages.
Right,
It
and like
does.
Nero said, until it becomes better
Yeah.
pay and better job opportunities.
Yep.
Sure.
And that's where the line stops, and
right.
that's where you really have to, you have to explore all the different options that are open.
Right.
And I know,
It's true.
I'm not sure, like, Denmark, right, Nero?
I'm
Norway?
going to say yes. I'm looking now again. Forgive me, Nero.
Yeah, I'm but I like, and just finding
Yeah,
out
Danish.
Finland. I'm sorry. So from Finland, and just finding out like what
it.
opportunities and what ways there are to get around
And
it, or
sometimes
what
it
can work
isn't
with.
about money. I guess I'm in the minority, but I'll share something with you. The first one I just did because that was about like being hireable. The second one, I got that second degree because I wanted to do it.
Sure.
And it had nothing to do with, believe me, I did not pick a field that I would be paid
Right.
well in. And it wasn't for
Right.
the money. I just, honestly, I wanted to prove, I just wanted to do it.
Sure.
For my own personal
Sure.
accomplishment.
Sure.
And it's helped in some things, but I don't know. In other ways, I think it sure costs a lot of money. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still.
And I don't know
love
that
it.
my
Yeah,
salary
yeah,
is,
yeah,
like
yeah.
explore
So
all
I
the
hear what
different
you're
ways.
saying,
Yeah,
like-
explore
Yeah.
all the different ways and
Maybe I should
online.
have done it a different way. But.
Speaking of which, did you guys hear about the gentleman that stood up at
Oh,
Morehouse?
yeah. Yes.
College?
Oh,
The
yes,
billionaire.
The billionaire, and was like, "Okay, I give you a what did he say?
He's
He
paying
said,
off their.
No, but
what?
to the
The alumni.
Oh yeah.
He's
This
like,
is
I
my-
challenge you.
Now, this
Yeah.
is my class.
Yeah,
Think about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is my
challenging
class. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay off their stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how
For the
those people
grant.
weren't losing their fucking minds.
They did.
No,
They're
but
still,
I mean, like,
they
just
still are.
I think they were probably like this.
What did he say?
Huh?
Well, I mean, what I would.
Do we have that on record?
Yeah, right.
I don't
Somebody
want to
get up.
Remember in The Office where he
Yeah.
offered to pay for all their college,
second
and then
grade.
they were all 18. Oh my God. That's
And
another
they call
show
him?
I
Oh,
absolutely
God,
love, and another great ending to a show.
Yeah.
The thing about that is you're not going to appreciate it. You need to do a couple of years
Of paying
with
it
the
back.
horror of student debt
Yes, you do.
above your head, and then have someone relieve you.
Yeah. Sure.
Because they haven't
He should
even...
have said, I'm going to do it in 5 years.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm gonna let you struggle a little.
Yeah.
Then
That's a good point.
When you know how fucking bad it is.
Also, as Stephen Colbert said again, he said, man, it sucks to be the class of 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drowning in debt.
They
calling
didn't
their
get
friends.
shit.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
So,
But as someone who paid off all my student loans in
Yeah, just
January,
No,
recently.
that's right.
just a general fuck off to those people.
And
And
for
there is a
somebody who
message
still has
currently on my phone that says,
$46,000
we'd
left
like
to
to
pay."
talk to you about your
Yeah.
federal student loan
Yeah.
debts. I'd like to tell you to
I'd
suck
say-
my dick. Because that's paid off, motherfucker.
What do you want to talk about? Giving me some money back?
I swear to God, I was like, I got to pick this up. Like,
Oh, yeah. You
next
should
time,
respond
next
to
time
them.
this bitch calls on me,
You should actually
listen
respond to
me.
that.
Yeah.
Right, right.
what would you like to talk about?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about, bitch?
I love it.
I don't know if it's a male or a female, but you know when the phone
Either
reads
way,
it to
it
me.
works.
Oh no, my phone is a male voice. I can never remember. Well, my
My
car
God.
can read back messages, and so can my phone. So mine, because we haven't got to me yet.
No, we haven't.
Oh, you were talking. I assume we wrapped you up.
You and every serial killer in the world said that same dream. Thought we killed her.
God.
God, it was on the target list.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And mine has changed all day because yes, Obama did have student debt when he was president. He didn't
He
pay
did.
it off.
That's right. That's
He
right.
hadn't paid it off.
That's right. Annette.
Law
I would
school's
say
expensive.
because of
Ugh.
the opposite of yours, because of like whoring it up and like going into the gay world so young, I think I missed out on a section of my teenage years that should have been like
Right.
way more calm and less
And age appropriate.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Starting in
That's
teen.
what we're
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the good thing is I saw the last dying breaths of the disco era. Like I really did see that get put to bed.
But at 10 years old, you knew the difference between a rocks glass and a highball.
Yeah, that's true.
So did I.
Point. Well
But
made.
you have
yeah.
to factor in, like, there's younger children that are treated like babies and younger children that are like, whatever they're doing, they know. It's the 6 and 8 year
Is he
difference.
hurting
but
anybody?
Yeah,
No.
we're all going to see The Exorcist. I know he's 4, but go ahead. You know, there's a lot of movies that you're like,
Can the
"You
dog come?"
You saw that? But so there is the part of it that I'm kind of glad that I was accelerated and didn't have that childhood part. Because I was never interested in playing with blocks or like primary colors or all that bullshit. You know what I mean? I want to read Stephen King. Like, let's accelerate this shit. But then it gets to the part where we accelerated too much. And I was living too much as an adult at like 15 to 18 instead of being 15 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't think I ever had that time to just kind of let it go by. Yeah, and Annette says got a lot of humping. There was a lot of humping, Annette. I'm not going to lie to you.
Jesus Christ.
So, am I sad about? There's a couple times where I watch TV shows about teenagers. I'm like, well, that's just stupid. Whoever did that? And the rest
Everybody
of you
else
did.
did.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's what all of you were
So
doing.
after school specials weren't for you. They're for everybody else.
Yeah, because I was way after
You
school.
were the mom.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
I
'Cause
got
I took
it.
a nap after school to be ready to go to a gay bar at
Yeah,
16.
so for more humping. Or grinding, however you want to.
However you wanna do it.
However get you there.
Sure.
But yeah, because we were talking about like being old enough and out early enough to see the last final days of like disco and the castanets and the finger cymbals and the people with the fans at the side of the dance floor and like how cool that is while everyone else was at like a high school football game or like learning cheers and I'm like, I kind of learned to cheer.
Yeah. YMCA.
I'm not that old, but yeah.
Yeah, you is.
Like I said, not a bad thing, but sometimes you think back and think like, what would have been different if I had done
Well,
something.
I certainly don't think that we would have the Al Perkins we have today if you would have
Oh,
had
I think
a different-
that's true of everybody. Like you're just a product of all the things you did right or wrong up to this minute. Like
Sure.
good, everybody's mad at
Good or
Sansa for
bad.
saying that, but good or bad, it's kind of how we got here and how I'm like this. So like it or lump it, that's
Right.
how we got here.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If things had
Well,
because
Jenny's
if-
father was a beer. Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that.
And her mom was
However
a
you
Jenny.
got there.
Her mom was a Jenny and Tom.
Atticus.
Oh.
It's a summary drink.
So are you a spritzer?
Jenny, I made my grandparents their drinks too when I was 12.
Oh yeah, Jenny, I knew how to make a highball.
Yeah.
And as
Still
my
does.
Uncle Gene said, it tastes a little bit better than elephant piss, but not much.
That sounds like something my
Gin and
grandfather would have
Okay.
said.
He would say it
Oh.
every time, and it was every single time he would say it, but it never was stopped being funny.
Yeah.
To you, at least.
Yeah.
Well, your,
I'm still-
your
when you're
grandmother's
12.
like,
I'm
shut
still
up.
laughing about it. My friend Gina, when she asked her, like, oh, this is good. What's in it? Just a thimbleful of urine. Okay.
Helps the medicine go down.
And it's so absurd,
Oh,
but it
funny.
makes you laugh. Oh, yeah, Jenny, I made it with no felonies as well. That's kind of, yep, there we go.
I mentioned earlier that Aaron from LA had posted a picture on his
yeah.
Facebook page, which I want to share because clearly we know Aaron from LA is a diehard Star Trek fan.
Yes.
Sure.
And, you know, all things
All things
intergalactic
Trekkie,
and
yeah.
all that. And so he posted this one, which was, I'm sorry your dragon show it did badly. And that, of course, is the commander. I forget her name. The
That's
commander
right.
Kate Mulgrew.
from,
Yeah.
from the
Mulgrew.
Star Trek
Yeah.
series.
There's one of the
some
greatest
shade.
living actresses. Like, that's another one who needs to be.
Yeah.
Ryan Murphy needs to find
Find
her
her
and
a
find her
job.
somewhere.
Find something
Well,
for.
she was.
From Ryan's Hope all the way
Yeah,
through
but
everything.
she was on Orange is the New Black.
Oh my God, I forgot. No, yes.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she is. She's the Russian.
Yeah.
She's got work. Stand
Yeah.
down.
Never mind.
Kate Mulgrew is. Everybody's
wait
on the
a
same
minute.
page.
Stand down.
Oh, Jenny, I got the
Damn.
I
misdemeanors.
had
Down.
the misdemeanors personally. But
Yeah.
Oh my heavens! Well, it was a
Anyway.
fun show. I think we all made it through with some insight,
did.
and it was good,
Yeah, it was
right?
a good one.
We had our
Yeah, I like
medical
that.
hour. We may do that again. You
Yeah.
never know.
3 hours with the elderly. Come back anytime. We're a cat-friendly hospital.
Oh God! We have to redo our logo.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.